Far side receiver is Pogreski. Templars loosening up the formation a bit. Have the H-back set to the left. Hand it to the left-hand side to Fowles, and he's got about 3 yards out to the 33-yard line. So pickup of about 3 on first down. They went right first play, left on the second play. Fouls on both carries.
Caden Ellis for Judge Memorial was up in the gap as a backer, ready to actually do kind of a blitz there. And that just happened to be where they were trying to run that ball. That held it to just a short 2 yards as he got the tackle.
So at the 33-yard line, second down and long 7 for Manti. Split backs. Hand it to the second back through. That's Sheese. Sheese into the secondary. Still plowing through, still on his feet at midfield. And inside the 50, and he slides, literally. Slides in the snow for about another 3 or 4 yards. And I think you'll have to see, they really ought to replace the ball probably right now because that ball was down in the snow sliding as he went there. But he goes to the 47 for a first down.
Both Cameron and Jared on these runs, they've done an excellent job of putting both arms and hands wrapping up the ball. I think they've gotten extra coaching on that, saying everything's slick.
Hand off again, Sheese again into the linebacking core and goes for about 4. Templars are going straight ahead right now, and for footworking purposes, you know, I thought this would be a game when Manti might look to more of the fly set, but with the field conditions that you've got, I don't know that they can. This one is going to be a game that's going to be won on the line of scrimmage.
It is, and Manti's actually progressing fairly well up the middle here. They've gained already 10, 20,
28
30,
yards,
40,
yeah.
30 yards.
Yep, close to it. Second down and 5 for the Templars. Into Jordan territory. We've got a whistle here right before, just as the ball was snapped. They were running a little counter action with Fowles, and he did have some room to go there. False start on Manti. That's costly. A second down and 5. Now they'll have second down and 10. Those shovel guys, we didn't have this last year. Boy, they're coming out and trying to, they're helping us out here. They're trying to clear those yard markers for us so that we can get a side of it. To appreciate that. 47-yard line of Judge Memorial for the Templars, and second and 10. Handoff and right into the teeth of the Judge defense. They got penetration that time. I think on a second and long they were coming at it, and it's no pickup for the Templars.
Yeah, Ethan Driffel, number 76 for Judge Memorial, had good penetration in there. He's almost 250 pounds. And he's making a difference down there. He's also one of their staples on their offensive line, too.
So loss of a yard, yard and a half for Manti. Brings up a third down and 11 at the 48-yard line. Backs are split. Foul set to the left. Ace going to run it to the right-hand side. Looking, got a man over the middle, and threw it way wide. Momentarily, he had Sago open, and then also dragging across in a pattern was Nordmark, and he threw that deep and wide, so the Templars will have to punt here. I don't know, the ball might have got away from him there, but at least it was long.
Yeah, at least he threw it to where there wasn't any defenders. He did a good job of making sure that if you're going to throw in this weather, it better be incomplete or right in the hands of the receiver.
Punting situation for the Manti Templars, but they did gain field position scenario here. Snap is back, and the punt, high, short one, and it's going to take a bounce sideways. So Judge Memorial is going to have the ball at about the 31-yard line. Let me see, I'm right, 10, 20, 30, about the 31-yard line after that high, short punt. But I could tell Harris was making sure of his footing. He didn't want to get feet sliding out from him and ended up with a nothing there. So playing it pretty smart, and Judge Memorial will have it at their 31-yard line.
Okay, what we're going to see here is Judge Memorial's line more has the NFL style, larger gaps, and their guards and tackles are going to be quite a bit farther back from their center. If I was a coach on the sideline, I'd be saying, hey,
is not lined up right.
Not lined up correct for high school.
The helmets of them are right on the hip of the center. Technically not the line of scrimmage. Dive play, left-hand side, pickup of about 3, and then stacked up on the carry. That is Henry Garcia, a 200-pound senior, so he gets about a 3-yard gain for them, first down. There'd be second down now and 7 for Judge Memorial at the 34-yard line.
Jared Sheese on the tackle. The defensive ends, I don't want to see him getting tackles that far deep, 3 yards back. I want to see them crashing down on the tackles or getting into the backfield.
Wide side is to the right for Judge. They'll hand off quarterback option, and that's Ellis. Strips right-hand side, and actually he's able to get the first down. He got an angle, and it looked like Templars had a little early contact on him, but he worked his way through and was able to get enough for the first down on about an 8-yard gain.
He's their leading rusher. With the option, just a reminder, you've got the dive up the middle with the handoff, keep by the quarterback, or he's going to pitch it. That one, he didn't even look at his pitch man. He had a wide open gap.
They've got a 9-yard gain on that one to put the ball at the 44-yard line. Pitch sweep near side, pursuing for the Templars, and it's Sheese. Jared Sheese comes through from that defensive end spot, and a loss of about 4 yards on the pitch sweep to Michael Kearns.
That was an excellent job of staying with the pitch man. Of course, it was such a quick pitch that he got out there, he got the contain. I didn't see who was supposed to be blocking Jared on that corner, but on that edge that he was sealing.
Defensive front for the Templars, Olson and Pitchard right now, along with the D ends.
Wes Wright and Jared Sheese.
So it's 2nd down and 14.5 for Judge Memorial at about the 46-yard line, and they'll hand a dive up the middle. Pickup of about 6 yards on the carry on 2nd and 15, and then they get 6 to the 45-yard line.
Henry Garcia was the ball carrier for Judge Memorial on that. One of the things you want to see if you're a defensive coach and they're running the option, somebody has the responsibility of the quarterback. On that one, it was Jared Sheese. You want to see him hit it even after he's gotten rid of the ball. That's what can shake up the mentality on the offense when they're running the option.
3rd and 8 here for Judge Memorial at the outside the 45-yard line from a shotgun set. They'll bring a motion. Quarterback keeping it. Ellis, he's being chased from the backside, heads up the field, and he will not get the first down. Out in the open field, tackle made by the Templars, Bradley Sago, and it'll bring up 4th down for Judge Memorial at about the 48-yard line.
It's kind of what we saw with Manti's drive, make it to midfield and then get stopped on downs. That's what's happened for Judge Memorial.
So that brings up the 4th down after the 3-yard gain on that one for Judge Memorial. Punt situation. Sago to return for the Templars here. And the snow's still coming down pretty well. Takes his time, puts the foot, and this is a high, short one too. Chops off to the right-hand side though. Dies in the snow. You know, the ball's not bouncing nearly as much in this snow off of a kick. So Manti will have pretty good field position at the 27-yard line. Our halftime show coming up, presented by Southern Utah University, curriculum deliberately built to focus on your experience. Both teams have kept things kind of neutralized here. And Manti will start at the 27-yard line on this drive in the first quarter, scoreless at the 5:50 mark in this 3A state championship. And they're just not going to be at 100% quickness like they usually are on this more slippery turf. You can tell players are being a little cautious and keeping their feet underneath them, which is important to do. Templar, strong side right, handoff to the right-hand side, to the outside. Fowles turns the corner and is able to get to about the 33-yard line. A little pin-in block to the outside. Tristan Daniels in there on that offensive.
Yeah, we saw that a lot last week.
No, that's a defensive. Never mind on that. About a 6-yard pickup almost.
Yeah, Tristan Daniels, though, did get out there. He was pulling on for a block, and Manti used that a lot last week.
So it's a 2nd down and short 5 for Manti. Back split behind Ace up under center. Hands it off, fouls to the right-hand side. Slips through one tackle, another one still on his way, and has the first down. Now taking an early shot at him and missing him. Fowles did that little shifty hips kind of a thing, and number 34 defensively for them, Max Barnett, just missed him totally.
Yeah, that's what we've seen from Fowles all season is arm tackles don't get it done with him. He's able to slip out of them and keep it rolling.
10-yard gain to the 42 and the first down. Templars have 3 first downs in this drive. Elizabeth D. Shaw Stewart Stadium here. Wildcats, Weber State hosting this. 5:10 remaining. First quarter, we're scoreless. Manti 1st and 10 at their own 41-yard line. Hand it, right-hand side again. Foul. Strings his way through and gets 3 yards. He was hit at the line, kept going and got it to the 45-yard line.
Manti's running a double tight end, and mainly what they're using him for is for blocking. That does also create a situation on defense where we have a lot of defenders up there in the box. I expect that Manti's also setting this up to open it up for a bootleg run by Connor Aist.
Pickup of 3 there means a 2nd and 7 at the 45. Wide side of the field to the left. Got a blitz coming from that side. Templars will counter it, hand it off to Sheets. Sheets dives left, and he's close to the first down marker. So the Templars offensive line get a good job of picking up that linebacker blitz. Coming on the far side, their offensive left. And Sheets gets close to 7 yards. Let's see what they mark here. Looks like to me they can say first down without bringing on the chains, but they are going to do that. Bring on the chains. We'll take a 30-second timeout.
They're trying to just clear up.
Are in. First drive bogged down a bit because of the penalty, and that can be another killer. So far, ball security, which we anticipate will be a problem at times for both teams possibly here, hasn't raised its ugly head yet.
I've seen a lot of, as I mentioned earlier, they're wrapping the ball up extra more than they usually do.
0-0, 4-minute mark here. Motion from right to left. Templars go with the long count, and there is one unhappy camper down that defensive front line. Chase Radcliffe. He's 305 pounds, and when that 305 pounds gets to leaning forward, they say it was against Manti. No, there's he's just walking the wrong way. Get his direction straight here. So another referee had to help him out there. The dead ball. Now they've got the umpire got that figured out, marked it the right way, and it's 1st and 5 after the 5-yard mark off of the penalty. So the penalty for 5, and Manti has 1st and 5 at the 44-yard line. Handoff, left-hand side, Sheese, he goes for the first down. Finally brought down after about a 6-yard gain. Ball security, and Jared had that happen to him last week. He gave it up at the end of a good run. When you know you got your first down, you've got to just wrap up the ball, and if they get you down, they get you down. It's sometimes not worth the extra sacrifice for another yard or two.
Well, and the ref's not sure exactly what's going on, too, when they see what that is. I reviewed that on film, and Jared's knee actually got down last week before.
Did it? Okay.
But he should go down earlier if he can.
36-yard line for the Templars. Handoff up the middle. Templars are grinding it out right now. On the carry, Cameron fouls. He gets a good solid 6 yards for the Templars. They're changing tight ends out in and some on this, or wide receivers in either scenario for the Templars. So we'll give him a 6-yard gain on that one.
Off the tail of Caden Gentry out there blocking for him. Still the double tight ends.
Got the flanker set right. This is a tight formation. That's the speed back. And we've got miscues here.
It looked to me like Dylan Brown had the ball slip in his hands.
Yeah, he's trying to snap it and couldn't get it. So it'll be a 5-yard mark off against Manti. That's why, if you're the center, I think you have a right to come up and ask a referee to, if that ball is slick, ask him to dry it off a little.
Yeah, they should be packing a towel out there that they can do that with. Also,
I was watching games yesterday, and they did. The umpire had a towel with him that he could wipe the ball off with. I think he's got one here, or that's just maybe it's just flag that he put away.
One of the things he can do too is use 2 hands to snap the ball, but he hasn't been practicing that all week.
So 2nd down and 9, handoff Sheese, left-hand side. and works for about 3 yards on the carry. We've got 5 officials for this ball game for today's contest. So Manti, after that 3-yard gain, will have a 3rd down and about 6.5 for a 1st down.
We mentioned the Shelley, Idaho game in pregame. Shelley, Idaho playing in a really wet condition that was even rain delayed for Manti. In Manti, Shelley, Idaho had about 5 snap exchanges that were fumbles, and Manti only had 1. Connor and Dylan do well together.
Speed back motions right to left. Did they get the 5-yard mark off? I think so. As for the 2nd time in this game, Judgment Memorial anticipated, came across. It'll be 3rd and short now for the Manti Templars, as they did the speed back clearing through with the change of cadence at the same time. So the penalty against Judgment Memorial now puts the ball setting there at about the 38-yard line. So that's where Manti will be on the 3rd and a yard. Here in the first quarter, 1:57 remaining, no score. Templars have generated more offense here. And a 3rd and short call.
Judge Memorial gone to a 5-man punt.
They anticipate it's like the goal line stand. Handoff right-hand side, no problem for Fowles to get the 1st down. As he gets about a yard beyond that. So that is a 2-yard gain and the 1st down for Manti. 4th first down in this drive. They started at the 27-yard line. We have not seen any pass plays yet in this ball game, and we won't see that many today probably, at least in this first half of play.
Yeah, Connor Ace attempted 1 and threw it long, and that's the only one we've seen.
So Manti from the 25-yard line, she's to the outside, turns the corner. He's got some room, stiff arms, and gets driven out of bounds, but not before he gets the 1st down. Let's see, I got a 10, 20, 30, so they started at about the, what was that, at the 26-yard line, and he gets the 1st down on what would be for the Templars a sweep left. Yeah, he's at the 14, so 12-yard gain.
Caden Ellis is the only one that was out there to stop him. And Jared did get his famous stiff arm out there and added 5 yards because of that. But if Ellis wasn't out there, he wouldn't have got him.
Sheesh, interior run this time, not much there. Maybe have back to the line of scrimmage, and that'll be about all. He was the near back, ran far side, so it had a little counter action to it from right to left, crossover there, and not much pickup on the 1st down call. So the ball will still stay at the 14. First 0 yards. He had a -1 on 1 carry. Templars have been grinding out pretty well here. 52 seconds remaining. Weber State and Ogden for this championship. 2 games to follow after this one on artificial turf. The ball set at the 13, 14-yard line. Handed right-hand side, Fowles back to the inside, ducks and dives, and picks up about 3. It's going to make up a 3rd down and long for Manti at the 10-yard line. If I was the shovel crew out there, I would be getting out even when almost in between these little breaks and get that goal line shoveled off. If you get a critical call down there, it becomes quite crucial.
Yeah, one of the things we see is as they tackle, if there's only 2 people there, the ball carrier and the tackler, you can see the smear in the snow and come back and figure it out. But as this group is getting bigger down by the goal line, they're going to have a hard time identifying what's in and what's not.
That's the end of the first quarter. We're scoreless. Manti Judge Memorial at the end of 1 period. Back with 2nd quarter action in 1 minute.
The Fairview Telephone Company
started down there, and somebody told them, no,
to bring
this
telephone
play's not going to go.
to small
Get down there and get
communities
it
in
done.
central Utah when no one else would. That small phone company is now Centricom, and our vision hasn't changed. We want rural central Utah to have the very best options for high-speed internet, cable TV, and home phone. Why? Because we live here too. Centricom, your local telecommunications company.
We have an obligation to make the community around us better.
Even though we've grown quite a lot, we still maintain the neighborhood, home, we're going to take care of you kind of attitude at Centricom.
We have an old bus that's kind of scary looking, and we fire the old bus up and we throw everybody in it when we head off to a community and do a service project.
We just have to give back because the community has given so much to us. We love this community.
Centricom, 110 years of service.
Well, the Manti Templars have the ball just outside the 10-yard line on a 3rd and 7 as we begin the second quarter of play of a scoreless ball game. And Shovel Crew did get out there, kind of cleared some things off. So it's a 3rd and 7, Manti at the 10. Handoff right-hand side. Sheese bulling his way to right-hand side for about 2 yards. It's going to bring up 4th down and about 5. Sheese with
the Central
54
Valley Medical
in
Center
rushing and fouls
offers
with 44 in that first quarter of play. And the Templars, Sheese with the leading tackler. Templars with 7 first downs in that first quarter. Judge Memorial with 1.
Offense is still on the field for Manti. They're going to go for it on this 4th down. Quite often during the season we see the tight end release from Jared Sheese for a pass, but in this weather I don't think that's what they're going to do.
4th and 4. Imagine Manti will go with the long count, bring the speed back in motion. That is Sago. And then they'll go to the long count again, and the Templars will take a timeout. Coaches call out on the sideline. Kind of anticipated that. 4th down and 4. Timeout on the field. Back in 30 seconds.
They can listen to satellite radio, they can listen to their iPod, but they don't give you local content. The local radio station can do that.
So my dad always told us, if you guys want to make a lot of money, you're going to have to move where the people are. But we didn't want to do that. We wanted to stay here.
One thing that all the people that live here have in common is that they all chose this place, and they could probably make better money somewhere else. And so we're all here because we love this place.
So the Manti Templars take their timeout, facing a 4th and 3.5, just in the beginning minute of the second quarter of play, and the Templars are set to go again with their running back. Slick field, you know, sometimes you think, do we try field goal here, but it's a slick field, and Templars will hand it off. Fowles to the right-hand side. Working, he's going to go in for the touchdown. Cameron Fowles just kept working. He got that head down. Still had vision up front, but he put the head down and he blasted away. Got a little help from his line to start with, and he just broke tackles again.
Let me tell you my thoughts as I was watching that. When he first hit the line, is he going to make the first down?
Yeah.
Is he going to make the first down? And then he burst out of that group with speed right into the end zone, still on his feet.
Balance, even on a wet field. Well, balance goes along with wrestling, doesn't it? We talk about off-season for football. I think in many ways his wrestling experience has paid off this season for him. So the Templars get the first score of the ball game now under the treacherous conditions. It's going to be a 2-point conversion try, and Harris trying to get it to the right-hand side, trying to bull his way in, and could not. Yep. He tried to wrap that up, and he just was not quite able to break the plane. And that's one of those, again, he'll learn. Just put your shoulder down and bull them through. So the Templars have come up short. It's 6-0 here with 11 minutes remaining. Kickoff coming up in 1 minute.
Hi, this is Mike Trana, inviting you to join us every Thursday night at 5:30 for the Centricom Channel 10 Sports Zone. In this weekly program, we'll bring you scores, highlights, standings of your favorite local high school teams. That's Thursday nights at 5:30 on Centricom Channel 10. And don't miss our weekly live broadcasts on Centricom Channel 10 or online at local10.tv. The Centricom Channel 10 Sports Zone, Thursday nights at 5:30 on Centricom Channel 10.
Hi, my name is Morris Casperson. We have an accounting office located in Ephraim, Utah. We can provide income tax preparation, bookkeeping, payroll, IRS, and state of Utah problem resolution. We have staff that is very qualified and friendly and willing to help you. I think you'll be surprised at how reasonable our prices are. And for the new clients, if you will mention this ad, we'll give you an additional discount. Please call us at 435-283-2006.
13-play drive for the Manti Templars, and it is a score at the 11:07 mark. They started at the 27.
Stuart Law switching with Easton Thompson at the last minute for Manti.
So 73-yard drive for the Templars. Kickoffs snubbing down to the near side, fielded on the run, and they'll try to set a wall up, and they've got it. To the outside and then take it down to the 44-yard line. Coming over for the tackle, Stuart Lott saves a touchdown.
That was a good substitution call then by the coaches there at the last minute. I think what they were trying to do is switch up who was safety, not just having Caleb Harris as the kicker be the safety, get somebody else in there. Easton Thompson is a defensive lineman, and they usually wouldn't have him carry a safety role on a kickoff.
So Judge Memorial at their own 45, excellent field position to start this one with. And the ball is loose on the ground, and it covered up by Judge Memorial. Quarterback mishandled that as he came to pivot out. Boy, they're lucky Manti didn't cover that one up because it was on the turf for a second. Jared Sheets just couldn't plant a foot and get over to it.
Yeah, Max Barnett reacted really quickly for Judge Memorial to dive in there and scoop it up, because he scooped it up so fast that as Jared Sheets was trying to get it, Jared scooped right where the ball was after Barnett had moved it out of the way.
Now the Templars bring in, is this Thompson, 71? Is that the number?
71,
71
Easton Thompson
in that defensive front. Second down and 10. Handed off. Dive. No, the quarterback keeps it. Comes to the outside. Cuts back inside. And is able to get about 4 or 5 yards. And that will bring a third down and call here.
We've got a Manti player still down. Counting heads and numbers, I think it's Wesley Wright.
Here on the right of the Judge Memorial bench. So they went into or he's right on the original hash mark there on this near side. So it is Wright that's still down here. Pickup of about 5.5 yards on that carry on a second down. And they made a good read to the fullback. The Templars had an early shot at the quarterback, but he was able to slip out of that one. And again, it's kind of a footwork thing. You'd like to get low and have your feet kind of moving as you come into a tackle, but the traction just not going to let you do that at times today. Advantage to a running back who has forward momentum going. He'll always have the advantage on a field like this. And they are tending to right. Let's take a timeout, and then we'll be back.
And we pride ourselves in giving the very best customer service.
Centracom has been there for me as I've needed their services.
We can just call, and they're very friendly and helpful. And when we have issues and concerns, they address them as friends.
It's really nice to be able to work with a local company that cares so much.
Just top-notch people, good community members.
Excellent customer service. Just been really happy.
Centracom, 110 years of service.
Will make a change at that defensive end spot. Dane Nordmark will come in now at defensive end. And Wesley Wright goes out. Gets off the field pretty much under his own power. But it's 3rd and 4 for Judge Memorial at the 50-yard line.
Nordmark started that position before he was injured earlier in the year.
They'll bring motion from left to right. Quarterback bobbles. It comes to the outside, slips out of a tackle, and has the first down just barely. Well, again, he had a little miss-snap on the ball, but he handled it and was able to go left. That's Caden Ellis, the senior quarterback. Good-sized kid at 6'2", 215. And he gets the first down, keeps the drive alive.
Both times that that ball has slipped out of his hands, what has saved him is his line has advanced at least a yard or two, making a pocket back there when the ball is loose and stuff. So his line is really doing a job of pushing Manti's line backwards.
At the Manti 45, Templars will flip-flop their defensive ends and bring Sheese to the strong side. That's the right-hand side. You talk about the gaps, and they do have those gaps. They'll counter it to the outside, and it's Nordmark that closes it down. He came wide. Now, if the running back would have cut inside, he'd have had some room, but he went right into Nordmark, who went outside for contain on the defensive set.
Yeah, the defensive ends are the ones that have the assigned contain on this option that they're running. Of course, that one was a dive, but he was able to contain that outside edge even with somebody into him for a block, for a no gain on that play.
Scott McKinnon, one of the wide receivers that alternates in and out here for Judge Memorial. They have 2nd down and 10. Wide receiver near us to their right as they go north to south, left to right. Judge Memorial and the red uniforms, and it's snowing so fast here, it's covering things up the dive play. Up the middle to left, and the pickup of about 4.5, 5 yards on that one. Snow is harder, bigger flakes right now, and blowing with a little more intensity. It's kind of interesting. You look over this way, and it's then crossing over. It's coming down and then crosses from right to left. That south breeze kicking things up here. It's where they just shoveled. It's already probably got a quarter to a half inch. Those numbers are hidden again from us there. Yard line markers out there. So it's a 4.5 yard gain on first down for Judge Memorial. Manti leading 6-0.
Max Barnett was the one on the carry there for Judge Memorial.
Manti's gamble on a 2-point conversion fell about a foot short. So Third down for Judgment Memorial, one set back. They'll bring motion, hand it, fullback, right-hand side, got room into the secondary, and tackled. Connor Ace, the safety, coming up to make the tackle, but not until he had the first down. Line of scrimmage right now for Judgment Memorial is opening things up.
Oh, yeah, big time. Manti's down tackle number 74, Tristan Olson, was just blown off of his feet. Part of it's the slick ground, but also the guard that's blocking into him has to deal with the same conditions. And right now, Judgment Memorial is winning the war in the trenches.
Almost 11-yard gain to the 30-yard line for Judgment Memorial. They've got power set right-hand side, counter it, come back into the middle. Only a yard or two gain on that one to Michael Kearns, going right to left. So pickup of giving 2.5, almost 3.
Kelton Pritchard on the tackle. Wesley Wright back in the game for Nordmark.
That defensive end. Templars, one of their healthier times now. They still have, of course, lost their kicker early in the season and have not had to go with a second unit kicking, and that's done the job for them. But that's the only player they still really have out that had impact early in the season, and then also Derek Wright. One of the backups. Here's the pass to the outside. Connor Ace, did he get it inbounds? Trying to make a pick. They say incomplete. The receiver came inside. The pass went outside. And Ace, the only one that had a shot at it.
He did catch it, but he was out of bounds by the time he caught it. One of the things that you're seeing too is as the Judgment Memorial motion goes, Manti switching up their backers and their safety, who is covering what on that pass coverage.
So third down and 7 for Judgment Memorial. To you 20, what are we at here? 10, 20, 30, 7-yard line. Big gap right in the middle for the Templars. Let's see if they audibilize out of this one. They will try to run it right up the middle and then sliding to the outside and getting the first down. That was all effort by Max Barnett. Give the big guy credit. He's a 210-rounding running back. He needed the old Jared Cheese thing there to get the first down. That was desire and effort.
It's hard to see the markers down here on the field, but that started on the 27-yard line is what I'm being told from behind me, and now they're at the 20.
That will give them the first down there, and the drive continuing at the 7:06 mark. Yeah, just inside the 20 at the 19.
Manti still in a 4-man front.
Kind of pretty good size gap between the two defensive tackles. They've got two middle backers. The 4-4 front right now. And it's a keeper on the dive up the middle and not much there. Maybe a yard at the most on that carry by Barnett.
And he had pulling tackles coming in through to block, but they went to the side that Manti's actually shifted their down lineman Kelton Pritchard into that gap, and he's close to the center, almost a nose guard tackle scenario there, and you've got Tristan Olson on the other side, but he's going out towards the tackle, the offensive tackle.
Manti leads, 6 minutes remaining, 6-0, second quarter. Judgment Memorial driving. They have the ball inside the 20 of the Templars. Second down and 9. Right it to the quarterback, keeping it, pulls it out himself, coming to the outside and goes out of bounds. But after he gets first down pickup, Ellis is pretty good size. We talked about him, 6'2", 210. He's a hard one to bring down one-on-one.
Manti had 3 attempts to tackle him before he was finally taken down.
So he picks up enough yardage to bring it up to a third down and 1 for Judgment Memorial.
Chase Radcliffe comes in as a lineman for, he's a senior lineman for Judgment Memorial.
The ball at the 12-yard line after the 7-yard gain.
Tiatia was in for Manti. Kelton Pritchard came back in for Tiatia.
Third and 1 at the 11. Quarterback keeper jammed up. It's 4-down territory. I would consider it here. I don't think he got the first down. Going to be close to it, but it'll be 4th down and inches for them.
Looking at both refs indicating from both sidelines, he did not get it.
So just a quarterback keeper off the left hip of the center. And he lost a glove. Quarterback did, Caden Ellis. So 4th and half a yard.
Dane Howe now in the game for Manti on the defensive line. I think a backer went out, so
5-man front.
5-man front.
You remember, he's going to get rid of that glove or whatever he had. The quarterback Ellis throwing that off. 4th and short. And McKinnon checks in offensively for Juan Diego on a critical 4th down just outside the 10-yard line. I think they would go a long count. Templars are going 5-man front. Hand it, fullback, left-hand side, has the first down. They just went straight dive to Barnett, and he gets 3 for the first down. So that will give them a 1st and goal at the 6-yard line for Judge Memorial after that 4-yard gain, almost 5-yard gain. We're at the 5-minute mark. Templars scored first. Time-consuming drive. Judge Memorial doing the same here with only their 2nd possession of the game. And here we are inside the final 5 minutes of the 2nd quarter.
The receivers have always been spread wide for Judge.
Wide side right, handoff. Nope. Quarterback keeping it. Pitch to the outside, easy. No one there to get anywhere close to the pitch man, Mark Barnett. Templars sucked in on the 2 option possibilities. They make the pitch to the outside and a 6-yard run for the touchdown by Mark Barnett.
And it looked to me like either Ellis or Barnett could have ran it in, and Ellis chose to pitch it. The defensive breakdown that I saw is somebody should have had quarterback and pitchman, and neither one had a defender going on him. So excellent blocking by Judge Memorial to make that score.
Extra point attempt coming up here to put Judge Memorial on top. Andrew Matthews with Barnett to hold.
He's a really good kicker too.
He's setting up pretty deep. He's got about a 4-step drop off here, and he does take the 4 steps, kicks it up, and it is good. So they take the lead at 7-6. Judge Memorial leading Manti, 4:37 in the 2nd quarter, back in 1 minute.
The Central Valley Medical Center in Nephi offers state-of-the-art rehabilitation services. The physical therapy department is committed to providing patients with the highest quality rehabilitative services. As part of the hospital team, board-certified physical therapists work closely with doctors and other healthcare professionals in coordinating and caring for patients. In addition, they have a specialist with 14 years experience that's certified by the Academy of Wound Care. Next time you or a loved one needs rehabilitation services, think of Central Valley Medical Center in Nephi.
Centricom is positioned incredibly well for the future.
We have become the 2nd largest fiber system in the state, Centricom has.
We provide data services for the Wasatch Front, school districts, and hospitals, libraries.
We now serve over 7,000 internet customers in our area, which is amazing.
We are prepared for the future and excited about the future.
Centricom, 110 years of service.
He liked to set up on the hash.
Yep. They'll set up on the hash here for the kickoff, and apparently I said Juan Diego. It probably won't be the last time I'll say that. There'll be plenty of errors in this ball game, so it won't be the last time I'll say that instead of Judge Memorial.
The toughest error to keep from making is which yard line are we on?
Yeah, that's the one that's being a challenge right now. We know he sets it up at the 40, so that's the one thing that we can see is he cleared a spot there at the near hash.
And they're crowding this end of the field. They don't have a player within 15 yards of the far sideline.
Approach to it, kicks it away. And Templars are just happy to let this go into the end zone. They could have fielded that at the 2, but I think their philosophy is there's just too much that can go wrong when you're trying to field that kind of thing that deep, and so they'd just be happy to go to the 20 and take over there with a 1st and 10, because it's obviously not their usual philosophy under ideal field conditions.
As long as the refs can find the 20-yard line, because it takes me a second to do so.
So it's a 1st and 10, Manti with 4:37 remaining. That Judge Memorial drive, 14 plays, 55 yards. Barnett scored, 6-yard run. 4:37 remaining, and the point after was good, and they lead at 7-6. Manti's was a 13-play drive that covered 73 yards. Handoff, right-hand side. Not much there for the Templars for Cameron Fowles. Bring up a 2nd and long for Manti.
Seth Jenkins was in the game there. He went in motion, was the lead blocker, and now he's rotated out as I believe Sago's bringing the play in.
So after no pickup for Manti, it's maybe a foot they got out of that one. 2nd down and long. Snowplow guys, they're keeping sideline cleared so that referees can watch out of bounds. Doing all they can here. Templars will go speed sweep around the corner, left-hand side, near side. Sago will get about 4 or 5 yards, but again, the thing about a speed sweep is that relies on a plant of the foot and cut. And today it's going to be kind of just dance and keep your balance and try to make a move up the field.
Which it was impressive with the yardage that he did gain.
Yeah, it was.
He did have Jared Sheese and Cameron Fowles out there blocking for him.
So 3rd down and 7 for Manti. Wide side of the field to be to the right. Single back set. Fake it. Connor Ace looking to throw. Got a man deep open and has the first down. That Nordmark, I think, the first down. The tight end on the release. Makes the catch across midfield. As he got it inside the 50-yard line. I think they're going to mark him at about the 48 or 49-yard line.
It looked a little bit slow motion to me as the way things were developing. Both the defense there covering Nordmark and Nordmark waiting for the pass. He had to slow up to catch it, but also
that's to the 48-yard line, Wendy? You've got to have Wendy's help here. I think about 48-yard line.
Yeah, she's saying 48-yard line.
Where they're at here,
Manti.
so a 24-yard pass completion for Manti.
She's up the middle.
And Sheese gains about 3 yards on this one to get it near the 50. Without anything cleared out, I'm having to make a little guess there on 45 and 50. But
so they're now on the 49.
They had the first down the Templars did on their first pass completion of the day.
Yeah, with that pass, Nordmark releasing as a tight end hasn't been covered as much because Manti's just mainly been using them all night for blocking on the outside edge with the conditions there are.
So 2nd down and about 5 for Manti. Counter it. Fowles scoots through and has the first down as he gets inside the 45 to about the 43-yard line. So he went from the 48 to about the 43.
Dylan Brown, of course, is center for Manti, and that went right up the middle where he was. And Cameron Fowles making contact with defenders almost immediately and powered through for the first down.
30, make that the 42-yard line for the Templars. It's a guessing game. Sheese into the secondary. Bowles through there, still going. Sheese is inside the 30-yard line on that carry.
It almost felt like he was frustrated that he didn't break that out into the open, even though that was an excellent run that he had. You know, he could see the goal line there.
14-yard carry or thereabouts. We've got Bob Ballman in the booth next to us where we've got glass in between us. Templars are running quick huddle here with 1:55 remaining. They'll hand off Sheese again, right-hand side. Sheese breaks out of another couple of tackles. Bull on his way. Just keeps going for an 8-yard gain. Nothing fancy. Templars are just going straight up the field here.
That is one of the challenges that you can have when there's this much time in the clock. But now that they're down to, is that about the 25?
20-yard line.
21. Now they're sitting good with the clock.
Fowles this time to the right-hand side behind Sheese, blocking for him. And a pickup of about 3 for Manti with 1:24 remaining.
Stop the clock.
Templars have used 1 timeout. And Fowles able to get the pickup there that moves the chains. So he got about the 4-yard gain.
They'll be up to the line of scrimmage for when the clock starts when the chain's set.
We're going to rely on Bob Ballman a lot for stats today because he's using binoculars, so he can really focus in. Here comes the blitz, and right up the middle, and it's going to be snowed down. Nice time to call a middle linebacker blitz for Judge Memorial on a 1st and 10.
Watching for a timeout for Manti, but they may choose not to because they're inside the red zone.
2nd down. And the ball still at the 17-yard line. Templars out a quick huddle, a minute remaining. 7-6, Judge Memorial the lead late in this first half of play. Going to bring the middle linebacker blitz again. Hand it to Sago. Sago comes behind the blockers and gets about 3 or 4 yards. So that's really kind of a fly counter, and the Templars take time out. We'll take a 30-second break and then be back.
His influence was so far-reaching that you couldn't even put a number on it.
It was the boy, not the game. He was making good young men out of them.
In order to build a small community, you have to be involved.
Kent is the TV and FM translator king of the world.
Just thick black smoke hitting us really hard, really fast, intense heat.
On a scenario here, and right now at about the 13-yard line for the Manti Templars.
The shovel crew's doing an excellent job of getting the boundaries of the end zone cleared off for us.
The critical parts, the goal line, sidelines, end zone, end line. Templars with 3rd and 7 at 45 seconds remaining. Wide side of the field to be to the left, single setback. Fouls, Ace going to look to throw over the middle. Sheese has it, has the first down. Sheese at the 3-yard line. Boy, did he have to go high for that one. Sheese had to really string out and makes the snag.
One of the good things, though, about how he had to reach for that is it was out of reach of the defender. Also, the way that he went down, I think if it was dry field, he might have been able to keep his feet and keep going.
So the Templars with 1st and goal at the 3.5-yard line. Motion will be from right to left. Handed dive play. She's still trying to work. It's a couple of yards. Going to be down to about the 1.5-yard line. Gets about half the distance that he needed. Manti takes a timeout, and it will bring up the Templars with 2nd and goal from 2 yards away. So we got about a yard on that carry, and there's 23 seconds remaining. Templars will not have time for 3 plays. They've got 2nd and goal at the 2-yard line.
They have 1 timeout left.
And I can guarantee you that Judge Memorial is going to be packing stuff in there pretty tight.
Yeah, I think the last play they switched to a 5-man front. I couldn't tell if it was just a backer that came up and went down or if they actually brought in a lineman.
That goal line crew includes plenty of shovels today. Again, I can't say enough about what they've had to work with here. And these guys have got 2 more games to deal with here at Weber State, this field crew today. There are 2 games following this one. It's going to be a long day for those boys. So our hats off to Weber State with the way the snow was flying. If we'd have had this last year, we already, of course, had a bad set to it, but boy, with the way the snow was flying, it would have been a disaster. They've done the best they can. Manti, 2nd and goal. Trying to take the lead. Hand it off, left-hand side. Cameron Fowles working. He gets maybe a half-yard. Credit with the tackle. Caden Ellis. And also Henry Garcia. Ellis was trying to get his feet under him to get up and slipped and fell right over. Smothered Fowles, and they were going to hand it off right-hand side. Fowles, touchdown! There you go. Templars came quick huddle. Well, no huddle. They went no huddle. The same play except right-hand side. Fowles puts it in from 2 yards away from Manti with 4 seconds remaining.
Excellent job by Manti to march all the way down the field. Good clock management. 4.4 seconds left on the clock for this half. As long as they can do a good job of containing that kickoff.
Templars running a 2-point look at it here. They will flood left-hand side. Referee making an indication here, and the Templars will go for 2. And running to the right-hand side, Progreski flips it into the end zone. They've got the 2-point conversion. TJ Progreski to Jared Sheese. 2-point conversion is good. And Manti has taken the lead. Progreski got the job done. And, of course, he's been holding since he was a freshman. Got hurt this year, didn't get to do a lot of it. He's an excited hombre right now. It's nope, they put the points up on the wrong side. Should be 14-7 in favor of Manti here. And we'll have the kickoff. We're going to stay right here with it. Closing seconds of this first half of play. So Templars get that critical drive and the touchdown by Fowles at the 4-second mark in this second quarter.
Caleb Harris does have a good leg on him for aiming the ball. He doesn't have as much strength for distance. When Manti gets in these kind of scenarios, quite often what you'll see is the coach will have him do a line drive. All they need to do is get this play to stop, not advance.
Yeah.
Just get it to stop because of the 4 seconds on the clock.
Well, you've got Trevor Alder and Eric Lee, a couple of those guys. They are in the middle, but I can guarantee you they are going to be making a read as they come up the field. Probably some of them make a little contact early on and then try to slide off in that contact and then plug up some of the return lanes here.
I wouldn't even mind an onside kick just to try and keep a play from developing.
Still haven't corrected the scoreboard. They've got the points on the wrong side. He's going to chip shoot it down to the right-hand side, stays in the field of play. Picked up at the 10-yard line. Templars have got to fill gaps, and he slides down. That's how slick it is. tried to plant and cut, and boy, that's a tough one. Mark Barnett was trying to make a plant and cut, couldn't do it. Feet went out from under him.
Now, is it when the player touches the ball that the clock's supposed to start? Because the clock did not do anything. And I think they're just noticing that, the officials. They're going to correct that now.
The official's going to correct it here with the scorekeeper. 2 seconds off, he says. Okay. Should take 2 seconds off the clock. They'll have time to run one play from the 16-yard line. Let's say from the 16 here for Judge Memorial.
Usually, with good weather, I would say change your defense, take out a defensive lineman. But I'm thinking that
look
they
how
need
Fowles
to,
is dropping. Fowles is dropping like a safety here. Templars are playing a loose one here.
Lineman will stay standing for Manti maybe. We'll see how they get set. They're waiting.
They've got the clock set. Yeah, they need to get this. Not real good communication. This clock keeper's on a different level than us. There's nobody even here that can tell him anything. And I could hear him plain as could be. He needs to reset that thing. The score should be 14-7. He's got it 12-9. That's wrong. There we go. I think they told him, I thought they told him 2 seconds. They wanted 2 something. 2 seconds. The referee's down here, the umpire saying 2 seconds, 2 seconds, 2 seconds. There he goes. He's got that. And so we've got that fixed now. First, well, it'll be last play of the half here for Judge Memorial. They're running a T offense, and quarterback keeping it to the outside. Runs to the outside, Stego chasing, and he'll go out of bounds across the way. So a pickup of about 17 or 18 yards by Caden Ellis, but he ran the time off the clock. That is the end of the first half of play. Manti with the lead over Judge Memorial in this 3A state championship, 14-7. Our halftime show presented by Southern Utah University, coming up in 3 minutes.
Central Utah Bucks and Bulls is an all-new series starting August 14th only on Centricom, Channel 10. This show, it's all about us. No more whitetail hunts on the other channels. These hunts are our people, in our mountains, right here close to home. And next time you head out, take a camera and share with us some of your pics and videos so we can all enjoy them right here on our local channel. Central Utah Bucks and Bulls.
Hi, my name is Morris Casperson. We have an accounting office located in Ephraim, Utah. We can provide income tax preparation, bookkeeping, payroll, IRS, and state of Utah problem resolution. We have staff that is very qualified and friendly and willing to help you. I think you'll be surprised at how reasonable our prices are. And for the new clients, if you will mention this ad, we'll give you an additional discount. Please call us at 435-283-2006.
The Fairview Telephone Company was founded in 1903 to bring telephone service to small communities in central Utah when no one else would. That small phone company is now Centricom, and our vision hasn't changed. We want rural central Utah to have the very best options for high-speed internet, cable TV, and home phone. Why? Because we live here too. Centricom, your local telecommunications company.
We have an obligation to make the community around us better.
Even though we've grown quite a lot, we still maintain the neighborhood, home, we're going to take care of you kind of attitude at Centricom.
We have an old bus that's kind of scary looking, and we fire the old bus up and we throw everybody in it when we head off to a community and do a service project.
We just have to give back because the community has given so much to us. We love this community.
Centricom, 110 years of service.
The Central Valley Medical Center in Nephi offers state-of-the-art rehabilitation services. The physical therapy department is committed to providing patients with the highest quality rehabilitative services. As part of the hospital team, board-certified physical therapists work closely with doctors and other healthcare professionals in coordinating and caring for patients. In addition, they have a specialist with 14 years experience that's certified by the Academy of Wound Care. Next time you or a loved one needs rehabilitation services, think of Central Valley Medical Center in Nephi.
They can listen to satellite radio, they can listen to their iPod, but they don't give you local content. The local radio station can do that.
So my dad always told us, if you guys want to make a lot of money, you're going to have to move where other people are. But we didn't want to do that. We wanted to stay here.
One thing that all the people that live here have in common is that they all chose this place, and they could probably make better money somewhere else. And so we're all here because we love this place.
They can listen to satellite radio.
for that extra.
Our halftime show presented by Southern Utah University, an education designed to give you a memorable experience in Cedar City. Look into Southern Utah University and experience more. It's halftime with Larry Masco and Russell Olson here at Wildcat Stadium, also known as Stewart Stadium, on the campus of Weber State University. Snowplows going to work real quick here on this one. That's how I would guess there was a good 1 to 2 inches that accumulated during that first half of play.
And it's wet, heavy snow is what it looks like as it clumps up.
So the halftime score, Manti on top 14-7. Let's take a look at our Southern Utah University scoring summary. First possession of the game for Judge Memorial. Had to punt it away after picking up 1 first down. Their first possession came after Manti's first possession, in which Manti had to punt it away as well. Manti's second possession, they started at their own 27-yard line, put together a 13-play, 73-yard drive, and they scored early in the second quarter on the first play of the second quarter. 11:07 on the clock, fouls on an 8-yard run. Point after was no good on a 2-point attempt, and Manti was on top 6-0. Judge Memorial got it for a very time-consuming drive in that second quarter. 14-play, 55-yard drive. And Barnett, and I should have written down the first name because we do have the 2 Barnetts that scored on that one on a 6-yard run at the 4:37 mark. The point after was good on the kick, and it was 7-6. Then Manti started at their own 20-yard line, a 14-play drive, covered 80 yards with 4 seconds remaining, fouls on a 2-yard run, and Manti, point after 2-point conversion, was fine, and it was 14-7 at that point for the Manti Templars leading Judge Memorial. We'll take a look at some statistics yet ahead on our halftime show presented by Southern Utah University. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
Hi, this is Mike Trana, inviting you to join us every Thursday night at 5:30 for the Centricom Channel 10 Sports Zone. In this weekly program, we'll bring you scores, highlight standings of your favorite local high school teams. That's Thursday nights at 5:30 on Centricom Channel 10. And don't miss our weekly live broadcasts on Centricom Channel 10 or online at local10.tv. The Centricom Channel 10 Sports Zone, Thursday nights at 5:30 on Centricom Channel 10.
Hi, my name is Morris Casperson. We have an accounting office located in Ephraim, Utah. We can provide income tax preparation, bookkeeping, payroll, IRS, and state of Utah problem resolution. We have staff that is very qualified and friendly and willing to help you. I think you'll be surprised at how reasonable our prices are. And for the new clients, if you will mention this ad, we'll give you an additional discount. Please call us at 435-283-2006.
$79.
Our Southern Utah University halftime show. Experience more from your education, where you get involved in your education at SUU in Cedar City. Let's take a look at our SUU halftime stat report. And we've got about 3 of us kind of keeping stats here. So we've, with the snow we're going with and everything, here's some variables. But let's go with what Bob Ballman had for us here on this go-round. For Jared Sheese, 13 carries, 86 yards, and 1 pass completion for him. Fouls, 13 carries, 60 yards. Sago, a carry for 3 yards. So Manti rushing for about 150 yards in that first half of play, and 34 in the passing department. For Judge Memorial, 96 yards in that first half of play. Ellis, their quarterback, 7 carries, 51 yards. And for Max Barnett, 6 carries, 29 yards, 96 yards for them in rushing, 0-1 in the passing department, so no yardage there for them in that department.
And we can mention Jared Sheese, he had the one completion the way we keep stats, but also he caught the extra, the 2-point conversion thrown by TJ Progreski.
Now on the quickie stats, and this is provided by someone on the staff here at Weber State apparently, they have more first downs than I have. And some stat keepers will record a first down if it would have come in progress before the touchdown. I don't count those. How many do we have for first downs?
Manti has, in our
12.
booth, we've got 12 for
and
Manti.
they have 14 here, and I'm inclined to that 12. And how many for Judge Memorial?
5.
5, yeah. And so I'm more inclined with that. So
I think what they're doing is when a drive starts, they're counting that first one, and we don't count that.
So, okay, and then the rushing department there, well, total offense on this stat sheet, 186 for Manti and 90 for Judge Memorial on that one that's provided by, well, we got more stats we know what to do with here, so average them all out, but we do know this, Manti is leading at halftime, 14-7, our halftime show presented by Southern Utah University, a curriculum deliberately built to focus on your experience. We'll take a 3-minute break and be back here at the Wildcat Stadium.
And we pride ourselves in giving the very best customer service.
Centracom has been there for me as I've needed their services.
We can just call and they're very friendly and helpful. And when we have issues and concerns, they address them as friends.
It's really nice to be able to work with a local company that cares so much.
Just top-notch people, good community members.
Excellent customer service. Just been really happy.
Centracom, 110 years of service.
The Central Valley Medical Center in Nephi offers state-of-the-art rehabilitation services. The physical therapy department is committed to providing patients with the highest quality rehabilitative services. As part of the hospital team, board-certified physical therapists work closely with doctors and other healthcare professionals in coordinating and caring for patients. In addition, they have a specialist with 14 years experience that's certified by the Academy of Wound Care. Next time you or a loved one needs rehabilitation services, think of Central Valley Medical Center in Nephi.
Centracom is positioned incredibly well for the future.
We have become the second largest fiber system in the state, Centracom has.
We provide data services for the Wasatch Front, school districts, and hospitals, libraries.
We now serve over 7,000 internet customers in our area, which is amazing.
We are prepared for the future and excited about the future.
Centracom, 110 years of service.
His influence was so far-reaching that you couldn't even put a number on it.
It was the boy, not the game. He was making good young men out of them.
In order to build a small community, you have to be involved.
Kent is the TV and FM translator king of the world.
Just thick black smoke hitting us really hard, really fast, intense heat.
Central Utah Bucks and Bulls is an all-new series starting August 14th only on Centracom, Channel 10. This show, it's all about us. No more whitetail hunts on the other channels. These hunts are our people, in our mountains, right here close to home. And next time you head out, take a camera and share with us some of your pics and videos so we can all enjoy them right here on our local channel. Central Utah Bucks and Bulls.
Hi, my name is Morris Casperson. We have an accounting office located in Ephraim, Utah. We can provide income tax preparation, bookkeeping, payroll, IRS, and state of Utah problem resolution. We have staff that is very qualified and friendly and willing to help you. I think you'll be surprised at how reasonable our prices are. And for the new clients, if you will mention this ad, we'll give you an additional discount. Please call us at 435-283-2006.
Well, again, our hats off to the crew here at Weber State University. They are fast and furious trying to clear the field and doing a good job of it here at halftime. Try to get that whole field cleared again. 2 more games coming up today. Coming up on our post-game show, our Los Amigos player of the game, or players of the game today, chili relleno, bean burrito, smothered in cheese, served with the rice and beans, and Los Amigos freshly made authentic Mexican cuisine and complimentary chips and salsa, and call for takeout there, 283-5675. Manti Templars back out on the field as they lead it 14-7 at halftime of the 3A championship. And Russell, can we call it the wide world of KMTI today?
Oh yeah. we want to give a shout out to the armed forces of the United States. We're getting feedback even from the Middle East from my brother.
So there we are. It's great to be able to bring the ball game to you wherever you're at, in the stands here at this one, and various ways to facilitate this. And again, this snow crew is just clearing things up. And they're going to have this piled up big time by the end of the day if it keeps going. Now I notice that we've got a little more of a swirl to the snow, and it's really a south flag breeze yet. But anyway, halftime show here at 14-7, Manti on top. And our halftime review, the line of scrimmage. Both teams have had it on offense and have been able to move the ball. A lot of things yet to be determined in this second half of play. But I've got to give credit right now to this Manti Templar offensive line, because last time they played Judge Memorial, a little different scenario, and the last 3 or 4 days have just been, or 4 games have been tough as can be up on that front line.
Oh yeah, this is, as we could tell by the weather, it's going to be all about the rushing for both teams, and Manti's line is really doing it. Both teams have their lines playing both directions, and boy, they're really fighting it out there down in the trenches. I'd just like to ask my brother too, let me know what time zone he's in. What time is it there?
Oh, that's true. We're 12:25 here. Yeah, I have no clue. I'd like knowing that. He can let you know on that. That'd be a good thing to pass along. We're at 3 minutes away from the second half. Judge Memorial not out yet. Clock is stopped here. So Judge Memorial comes out for warm-ups. 14-7, Manti the lead. You get involved in your education and experience more learning, growing, maturing, hiking, dancing, and living at Southern Utah University. Sponsoring our halftime show, Manti with the lead, 14-7. Judge Memorial coming out of the locker room. We'll be ready to go here in about another 3 minutes. We'll take this 2-minute break.
The Fairview Telephone Company was founded in 1903 to bring telephone service to small communities in central Utah when no one else would. That small phone company is now Centricom, and our vision hasn't changed. We want rural central Utah to have the very best options for high-speed internet, cable TV, and home phone. Why? Because we live here too. Centricom, your local telecommunications company.
We have an obligation to make the community around us better.
Even though we've grown quite a lot, we still maintain the neighborhood, home, we're going to take care of you kind of attitude at Centricom.
We have an old bus that's kind of scary looking, and we fire the old bus up and we throw everybody in it when we head off to a community and do a service project.
We just have to give back because the community has given so much to us. We love this community.
Centricom, 110 years of service.
The Central Valley Medical Center in Nephi offers state-of-the-art rehabilitation services. The physical therapy department is committed to providing patients with the highest quality rehabilitative services. As part of the hospital team, board-certified physical therapists work closely with doctors and other healthcare professionals in coordinating and caring for patients. In addition, they have a specialist with 14 years experience that's certified by the Academy of Wound Care. Next time you or a loved one needs rehabilitation services, think of Central Valley Medical Center in Nephi.
They can listen to satellite radio, they can listen to their iPod, but they don't give you local content. The local radio station can do that.
So my dad always told us, if you guys want to make a lot of money, you're going to have to move where the people are. But we didn't want to do that. We wanted to stay here.
One thing that all the people that live here have in common is that they all chose this place, and they could probably make better money somewhere else. And so we're all here because we love this place.
Just about ready for second half of play here from Weber State University. Larry Maskell and Russell Olson with you. Bob Ballman and Wendy Olson. We need spotters and stat keepers and about anything we can get today to help us with this. The snow is a little lazier here at this point. Both teams warming up. And Manti on top, 14-7. Our halftime show has been presented by Southern Utah University. From a new freshman to a graduate student at SUU, education is designed to help you experience more education. All season long, they'll be with us through basketball as well here to provide all our coverage. Well, you know, one thing about this is I think we've seen basically the base offense for both teams. It creates a halftime scenario. When you go into the locker room, you have less things to deal with. And I think it's almost as much time in there just talking about, again, fundamental execution as much as anything before you come out in the second half of play in a game like this, Russ.
Yeah, the emphasis for the ball carriers, hold on to the ball, use two hands on the ball. The linemen working on their their footing and their assignments, but they really haven't been changing much. I think it's somewhat surprising, the score not being any higher than it is so far, but the weather has a factor on that.
About 2 more sweeps with the snowplow here, and they'll be ready to go for second half play. We've wound the clock down as we go in again to that second half. Manti in total offense 185 yards, about twice as much as Judge Memorial. But in a sense, the Manti Templars had 3 full possessions in that first half. Judge Memorial did not. Manti had the ball to start with. If you're looking at possession in that second half, you get Judge Memorial 3 of them and Manti 2 in the second half of play. And that's not many possessions in a ball game. A game like this, with the conditions we have, that cuts down on the number of offensive plays, well, on the possession, so obviously on the number of offensive plays. And it factors in. In other words, for the Templars, they scored 2 out of their 3 other possessions, and Judge Memorial half of the time. This first drive for Judge Memorial in the second half of play could be key either way for the Templars defensively and Judge Memorial offensively in this ball game, because you don't get that many possessions. And if you get behind by 2 touchdowns heading into the fourth quarter, it could get real interesting then.
Yes, every scenario changes that. When you get down to the last of the clock and you have to be throwing, and it isn't optimal conditions to be doing that in. So this opening drive is going to really set the stage for what to expect in the second half.
We mentioned we've got tractors, plows, side by side with a plow on it, people with shovels out there working on this, trying to help out. He'll make 1 more sweep in. We'll be ready to go for second half play. 24 more minutes of clock time football here at Stewart Stadium on the Weber State campus. Following this, there are other championship games on tap today here, 2 of them to follow, and in a sense I think it's good being that first game of the day. That'll be to follow up the 2A and the 1A championships, and that 2A championship will be at 4 o'clock this afternoon, Grand and South Summit. And if I saw Summit, I'd almost be tempted to go out on my field up there in Canvas right now in the morning and run kids through some drills in the snow there, which I'm sure they would have, and get them used and acclimated to this one. And Duchesne and Rich to follow this game for the 1A championship. So that's what we're dealing with here. And again, our hats off to Judge Memorial for their successful season to get to this point. They didn't come in rated top at the beginning of the year. Played some tough games early on. Pineview was one of their losses, and Pineview was playing for the 3AA championship. And then they lost to Woods Cross, and that's a playoff team in a higher division as well. Templars didn't back down either. They played some bigger schools, and you just can't help but wonder if it's not a payoff that these 2 teams are playing each other here for the state championship. Yep. Weber State, great job today keeping up with adverse conditions here. Like Russ was saying off air, if this was another field with a lesser facilities, it would be ugly and nasty today.
Yeah, and when you mentioned last season for both teams, Manti, of course, won the championship. Judge Memorial had a 5-6 year.
Yeah.
So that's what kind of leads into what they were ranked at the beginning of the year. 2007 was the last time they visited a finals game.
Yeah. So we're about ready to get it underway as the teams take the field, and the snowplow takes his last pass here for right now. And the field is actually in better shape right now than it was at the start of the game as far as the visibility factor out there. And 10:30 p.m. is what they are at there in the Middle East, that section at least, in the Middle East. So we got your time check for you. Got that in as well. Second half coming up. Manti Templars will be kicking off. Judge Memorial to receive, and on our post game we will be naming our Most Amigo player of the game, or players of the game for the Templars today. Harris to kick off for Manti. Going right to left. Judge Memorial will be going left to right. That's north to south here in this stadium.
Harris, I expect him to kick it right down between the 30 and the 20 on Manti's sideline. That's where he's good at tucking it in.
Finished the first half with a kickoff as well. 14-7 as we're underway now. Second half of play, and he does. He drops it down inside the 20, skips off, and goes into the end zone. So it'll come out to the 20-yard line as that one got away from Michael Kearns, who's trying to field it across the way. So Judge Memorial taking over at the 20.
I suspect that that ball caught up just a little bit of slush right before it hit Michael Kearns' hands, and it's slippery out there. And lucky for them, it really doesn't affect things. Just bring it out to the 20 and get their offense started.
So the ball brought in from the Judge Memorial sideline, and We're ready to go for second half play. Larry Masco and Russell Olson with you in Ogden. Between the hashes at the 20-yard line. Judge Memorial in the red jerseys, Manti in white. And the referee not set yet. Talking over here with the Judge Memorial sideline. I don't know what the discussion would be at this point. Nothing happened on the clock, so I think we're good there.
They might have said, hey, the scoreboard's different than when we went in.
Yeah, well, it is, because it was wrong when they went in. The head referee is still over here on this sideline.
We got a dancing ref down there by the ball. They're talking about the snow. There's some big slush spots, and the staff is out there with the shovels to clear them and also stomp them down so that they're not
yeah, that'd be about the best thing they could do. Almost be better if they just had a little roller they could go over with here. They've done a very commendable job. They could do some designs out there, couldn't he? Graphic design. I've got a daughter, and then put her to work out there with a maze in the snow, huh?
A little advertising, maybe.
Yeah, KMTI. Ready to go, and they run that straight T set across the way. The halfback's out wide almost as flankers. They'll bring motion from left to right. Pitch sweep, near side, got some room. Nice pin in, block to the outside, and then back to the inside, and they go clear out the 40-yard line.
Jared Shees followed all the way on that tackle, and that's one of the things that I mentioned earlier in the game. The coaches in the booth for Judge Memorial are going to be watching to see who has contain on the quarterback, who has the pitch man on that option. With him following that play, I would, and not following through with a hit on the quarterback, I'd keep going with that option and watch if the quarterback's going to be able to
I think we're going to see more option. I think you're right. First down, 43-yard line after the 23-yard carry. Double wideouts left. Motion will come to the narrow side. They'll hand on the dive play. And a pickup there of about 4 or 5 yards. I'm going to give him 5.5 to the 48-yard line.
Henry Garcia on that. That time we did see Shees follow through with the quarterback and make a hit on him.
5-yard gain to the 48. Right now we can spot the ball pretty well for you. And then it snows up and then we're gone on the numbers. 2nd and 5 for Judge Memorial. Moving early on. Fullback down. Hand it to the fullback. Quarterback keeps. Comes around the right-hand side. Cuts back inside. Has the first down.
Trying to strip the ball as there was many Manti Templars that wrapped up on him there. He was able to maintain the ball. Ellis with good ball control. And again, he's throwing extra, I think it was his hand pouch that goes around his belt that came off on that tackle. And he had to get that to the sideline.
Almost a 6-yard gain to the Manti 47. Judge Memorial coming out with some enthusiasm here. And 2 first downs. Motion right to left this time. Pitch sweep to the far side. Trying to get to the outside. Sego, the outside linebacker. And they do turn the corner. Sego was able to make that thing bubble to the far sideline, but a pickup of about 5 yards again.
Michael Kearns with some good speed to get around the Manti defensive end out there on the edge.
So the Manti 47, he gets it to the 42.5-yard line.
Pogreski's now in, I don't know how many plays he's been in there, but he's playing Mike backer, and we've seen a lot of Cameron fouls there earlier in the game.
Jenkins now at a middle backer spot on the 2nd and 6. Handed fullback up the middle. They get line. He goes to the outside, breaks out of a couple of tackles, still on the go. Connor Ace trying to haul him down. He gets inside the 30-yard line and inside the 20 on the carry. For Judge Memorial,
Henry Garcia
on that carry, rumbles for the first down.
Again, tone setting for the half. Make sure to capitalize on their first drive.
24-yard gain or so for that one. We'll let Wendy get the official on that one. Somewhere around the 24-yard vicinity on the gain, and it is at the Manti 19-yard line. Judge Memorial trying to tie this game up in the early going here. Inside the red zone. Long count. Handoff, dive, quarterback gets it in. It's going to go for the touchdown on the dive play. Getting through the arm tackles, it's Garcia. Just kept the feet going. And the arm tackles for the Templars aren't getting it done right now.
Yeah, that one was just the same play up the middle that they've had a lot of dive success on. That does mean that Manti's needing to make some adjustment there on the middle. I don't know if they should go to a 5-man front. They've done that on other games.
Matthews in to kick for Judge Memorial out of the Mark Barnett hold to try to tie it up at the 9:36 mark. And his kick is up. It's good. 14 apiece. We're tied at 14 in the third quarter. Back with the kickoff in 1 minute.
Hi, this is Mike Trana, inviting you to join us every Thursday night at 5:30 for the Centricom Channel 10 Sports Zone. In this weekly program, we'll bring you scores, highlight standings of your favorite local high school teams. That's Thursday nights at 5:30 on Centricom Channel 10. And don't miss our weekly live broadcasts on Centricom Channel 10 or online at local10.tv. The Centricom Channel 10 Sports Zone, Thursday nights at 5:30 on Centricom Channel 10.
Hi, my name is Morris Casperson. We have an accounting office located in Ephraim, Utah. We can provide income tax preparation, bookkeeping, payroll, IRS, and state of Utah problem resolution. We have staff that is very qualified and friendly and willing to help you. I think you'll be surprised at how reasonable our prices are. And for the new clients, if you will mention this ad, we'll give you an additional discount. Please call us at 435-283-2006.
Tied at 14 as Judge Memorial makes quick work of it early in the second half of play to tie it up. High short kick that is fielded by the Templars. Fouls is hit as he gets to about the 20-yard line. And took a nasty one there. Helped up by one of the Judge Memorial players.
I think it was Salazar, number 33, that got the hit. But,
and Cameron Fowles is not sure where the sideline is. He's going to have to come out for a break. Nice sportsmanship on the Judge Memorial player there. He really took a hit.
Yeah,
it was a hard one to field. He was kind of unprotected. He usually knows how to protect and slide off and things. He was not real well protected there.
Yeah, and if he wasn't so much a shorter player, I would have been watching for a helmet-to-helmet contact. But where he's lower to the ground, it doesn't give a taller defensive. They're giving a timeout, officials timeout, I think.
No, they marked off a penalty against Manti.
Oh.
5-yard mark off against the Manti Templars here. So that'll be put the ball back to the, it's a 10-yarder.
I think it was an unsportsmanlike.
Yeah, it is unsportsmanlike on the Manti Templars. Huh? That happened away from what we were watching, I guess. So Manti will start at the 10 rather than at the 20-yard line. Without fouls, handoff. Sheese back to the 10, that's going to be all. You know what Judge Memorial will do now. They will key off without fouls in the ball game.
A flag on the play. Came in after the tackle.
Actually, they mark it for a loss of about 2. I thought he got to the line of scrimmage.
And the ref on the closer sideline to us shows that he did make it to the line of scrimmage. So it's a discrepancy between the refs against Manti.
Half the distance to the goal. And they may decline it. Judge Memorial is thinking about declining this one. But I don't know why you would decline it, because
it would take it down and it only put 5 yards more, less than 5 yards.
Now he's going to spot the ball where we originally thought. Okay, they got the ball spotted correctly. They declined the penalty, so it will stand, and it's no pickup and a 2nd down and 20 for Manti. So yeah, once they got the spot where it was supposed to be, then I can understand them declining the penalty. Handoff. Nope. Connor Race going to keep it himself. Bootleg to the right-hand side. Throw it up the field. Has the incompletion. Just a little underthrown. Nordmark had a chance at it, but over to break it up defensively, Scott McKinnon.
McKinnon or
I think
Barnett?
McKinnon, and then Barnett was to help too. Both of them were right there on that one on the underneath side. I think it was McKinnon. So just about had that completion.
Nordmark was a little bit deeper than a defender, and if the ball had been thrown a little bit farther, he would have been able to get it. Luckily, he was able to get his hand on it and prevent it from being an interception for Manti there as 3rd down and, 20?
Jenkins and Sheese in the backfield. Foul still on the sideline. Connor Ace going to throw it out into the flat and incomplete. Trying to make a one-handed grab. That was just off bounds. A tough one for Sheets to try to bring that in. One-handed grab out on the pass into the flat goes incomplete, and it'll be a punting situation for Manti.
Now, this is one of the points that takes a lot of experience for a punter to not get too nervous or anything when you're in your own end zone. You need to have your plan B. A safety is better than fumbling or whatever. You can step out the back of the end zone or just kick it out of the back of the end zone.
In his own end zone, Harris receives it, punts it, line drive one. Takes a Manti bounce out to about the 48-yard line. So he did a good job given all the conditions. You get that one out to about the 48. That's where Judge Memorial will take over on their second drive of this half, and they dominated line of scrimmage in that first drive that went 80 yards on 6 plays. Start here with excellent field position at the Manti, 47.5. Pogreski and Jenkins, the middle linebackers. Fouls went out. If he had a mild concussion, he's probably done for the day. Ride it to the fullback. Give it to the fullback. Steps out of a couple of tackles, and he's got yardage. Line of scrimmage being controlled right now by Judge Memorial. They are driving it up the field behind that offensive line.
Max Barnett on the carry. We're trying to watch to see if any adjustments have been made by Judge Memorial's linemen, how they're lining up, how wide the gaps are, and they're still running the same gaps that they've had since the beginning of the game.
So they got a little more incentive coming out of that locker room at halftime than they had in that first half. They're playing with more of a sense of urgency. Templars reading sweep here, and the quarterback option, and they had it right, but then they got tucked in to the outside. The quarterback to the outside, upended, nice tackle across the way in the open field by Tyler Albee, and it might have saved a touchdown. Templars knew what was coming, they just didn't pin it in.
Yeah, and there was Albee had to drop back in pass coverage, and then when he noticed it was a run, he was into the block with the receiver out there, and he was able to ditch that block to make that tackle, and he hit Ellis Lowe. I think he's caught on that this game, if he doesn't hit Ellis Lowe, he's just going to bounce off him or be drugged for another 10 yards.
23-yard line of Manti for Judge Memorial. Back-to-back first downs and 12-yard gains, 8 minutes remaining. Third period tied at 14. Fullback, handoff. Danny comes out to the right-hand side. He's kind of stringing that out. Gets maybe a couple of yards on the carry. Amongst those in on the tackle, Trevor Alder. They've taken some of their defensive backs, turned them into outside linebackers for the Templars. So got some speed in it outside, but not necessarily the big strength kind of guys in that outside backing core.
Yeah, Easton Thompson's been rotating in and out with Kelton Pritchard on the defensive line.
Second down and 8 for Judge Memorial, wide side left, no motion. Option, quarterback to the outside again, being chased and pinned in. He got back to the line of scrimmage. That's all. That time the Templars were able to get gap penetration far side, and that will bring up a third down.
Pogreski and Sheese in on the stop, also having some help there at the end of the by a few others.
It's almost a yard on the carry. Third down and 7.
4 down territory. Their kicker might be able to kick one from this far, but in these conditions,
this field, I think they
skinnier uprights, they're closer together on the college fields.
Okay, they've got tight flanks right and left. Bring motion from right to left. The quarterback hands on the dive and gets about 5 yards. It'll bring up 4th down and 2. The dive left carry by Max Barnett. The pickup, they'll put it at a 4th down, big 4th down call here at the 15-yard line, Judge Memorial. He was able to get about 5 yards on that one.
Scott McKinnon brings the play in. Manti, if they can come up with a stop here, this is huge.
4th down and 2 at the 15 for Judge Memorial.
They stayed in a 4-man front.
Tight set for Judge Memorial, except for the one receiver right. Handoff fullback again. Nope, quarterback keeper. He comes left. Should have the first down easily as he went for another couple of yards afterwards. Got about 5 yards on the carry, just to about the 10-yard line.
Eating up clock here. Manti did go for it on the dive up the middle. The quarterback reads what the defense is doing, sees that that dive isn't going to go very far, so he keeps it himself, and then his third option would be to pitch it, but he's been able to turn up right on the edge of the tackle, his tackle there, and make it good, make it for good yardage.
First and goal just inside the 10. Pitch sweep to the near side. Trying to cut it in, won't go, and to get down to the 5.5, 6 yard line. Getting early penetration was Alder at the outside linebacker. She's had to come from defensive end spot to make the tackle at the 6 after the pickup of 4.5 yards.
Yeah, Mark Barnett is the ball carrier on that play, and you know, Trevor Alder, he did come in as the outside linebacker, and he was able to get a hand on him, but just slipped off. Barnett, he's got some speed.
Mark's a senior. Max Barnett is a junior for this Judge Memorial team. Right hash, 5.5 yard line, handoff left hand side, working towards the goal line. On the carry is Max Barnett, 210-pound junior, gets to the 1. So a pickup of almost 5 on that carry.
Sago and Harris on the tackle.
So 3rd and goal, 1 yard out for Judge Memorial, trying to take the lead here at the 4:45 mark in the 3rd quarter play. They have dominated here in the 2nd half.
Harris went out, Pogreski came in.
So 3rd and short. Quarterback under center. Fullback Barnett, bring motion right to left, hand it to Barnett. He's been getting that in there effective, and he does on that one as well. So that score at the 4:25 mark. Judge Memorial winning the battle right now down at the line of scrimmage, which they did not do in the first half of play, but they are now. And they have taken the lead here from Manti in the 4:25 mark in the 3rd period with a point after coming up.
We've got crew rotating the ball fairly well from the sideline on Judge Memorial's ball, so we'll see how well Manti can do the same too.
Placement to come up here for Judge Memorial. Try to take a 7-point lead. They've been successful so far with them. Snap and placement. Ball locked and will not make it. So that will keep the score at 20-14. I don't know who got a hand on it, but somebody from the Templars was able to get a hand on it. It's 20-14. Judge Memorial leading Manti. Back with the kickoff in 1 minute.
And we pride ourselves in giving the very best customer service.
Centricom has been there for me as I've needed their services.
We can just call and they're very friendly and helpful. And when we have issues and concerns, they address them as friends.
It's really nice to be able to work with a local company that cares so much.
Just top-notch people, you know, good community members.
Excellent customer service. Just been really happy.
Centricom, 110 years of service.
The Central Valley Medical Center in Nephi offers state-of-the-art rehabilitation services. The physical therapy department is committed to providing patients with the highest quality rehabilitative services. As part of the hospital team, board-certified physical therapists work closely with doctors and other healthcare professionals in coordinating and caring for patients. In addition, they have a specialist with 14 years experience that's certified by the Academy of Wound Care. Next time you or a loved one needs rehabilitation services, think of Central Valley Medical Center in Nephi.
Kickoff by Judge Memorial. Comes down, sidewinder kind of a thing. And fielded by Sago. 25-yard line into the secondary. Sago's on the run at the 50, the 45. Sago. Far sideline at the 30. Cuts back across the green at the 20. Still on his feet. Bradley Sago. He's going to score. Good job of keeping his balance and keeping his way up the field. He didn't try to go with too quick a fakes. He knew that he had the defender on his heel. And he just kind of kept weaving his way, change of direction, but it wasn't fast. Very smart running by Bradley Sago.
Excellent job by Manti's blockers, too. Sago hit the gap that they had created just perfectly. As I mentioned earlier in the game, you have of Judge Memorial leaving a 15-yard gap between their farthest defender on the far side of the field and the sideline. And that's the side that the kick went to. I think it was a squib kick that he was intending to send it to the right, and the defenders, they pulled to their own sideline a little bit, intending to try and defend that way.
85-yard kick return by Sago for the Manti Templars to tie it up here with 4:11 remaining. Going for 2, whistle blows, and I think Judge Memorial might have taken a timeout here. Somebody took a timeout. We'll take a 30-second break, 30-second timeout, and we'll be back.
Centricom is positioned incredibly well for the future.
We have become the second largest fiber system in the state, Centricom has.
We provide data services for the Wasatch Front, school districts, and hospitals, libraries.
We now serve over 7,000 internet customers in our area, which is amazing.
We are prepared for the future and excited about the future.
Centricom, 110 years of service.
For Judge on the scoreboard.
Okay, so Judge Memorial apparently was the one to use the timeout. They're down to 2, and we're tied at 20 with 4:11 remaining. Judge Memorial had problems with that new set by Manti in the first half, and so they wanted time here to discuss this because this is a critical juncture in the ball game.
And that's a good strategy by Manti. Anything you can do to cause the other team to take up their timeouts when it's a close game, especially their timeouts in the second half.
With the Templars, at least in our estimation, going to be without Cameron Fowles the rest of this ball game. That was a big play by Sago because they need everything they can get right now. They've lost a main weapon. Kinda look for the 2-point conversion. Pogreski be a key part of this. He's going to roll to the right-hand side, dumps it over the middle. They got it. Pogreski, all he had to do was make a read. That was not the greatest defense in the world, to be honest with you, right there. Jenkins was open. Sheese was kind of a decoy, and they get it to Jenkins in the end zone for the 2-point conversion. So Manti has gone up here, 22-20. We'll be back with the kickoff in 30 seconds.
His influence was so far-reaching, you couldn't even put a number on it.
It was the boy, not the game. He was making good young men out of them.
In order to build a small community, you have to be involved.
Kent is the TV and FM translator king of the world.
Just thick black smoke hitting us really hard, really fast, intense heat.
KMTI Manti. Manti Templar coverage. Larry Masco and Russell Olson with you. Everywhere around the globe today, Middle East and parts in between. Happy to bring you this broadcast and appreciate all of our sponsors. Here's the approach and the kickoff. Harris going to keep it right down along the ground. Fielded the 20-yard line. Seam to the right-hand side. And tackle finally made out at about the 43 in the open field by Derek Wright.
Somebody wearing the number 5. I think somebody's.
I was going to say, who took his number? Do we remember?
I didn't catch who took Derek's number, but he is out with a broken hand and not supposed to be back. Although he did get I think he did get clearance this week from the doctor to play. So that might have been Derek.
Well, taking over here, still in the third quarter at the 4:05 mark. Judge Memorial again with excellent field position, and they have been driving the ball without any problem in this second half of play as they've put 2 touchdowns on the board, and the fullback slips this time, trying to receive the handoff. So that was just a footing scenario for Henry Garcia.
I even think it was delayed a little bit by the ball being slippery for the quarterback, and it threw off the timing when he was going to do the handoff. It just, the conditions are taking their toll.
Still snowing, not as heavy as it had in the first half of play, but it is still snowing here. And you're just dealing with wet, whatever form it's in, you're dealing with wet now. 2nd and 10, motion right to left. Look at the quarterback, keeps it, he's snowed under. Nope, gets away. He get up and get going again. They thought they had a tackle made, and they didn't. And he's back across and still going for a first down. No time to celebrate. Wesley Wright was celebrating. He thought he had him down. And meanwhile, Ellis, with his strength, kept his feet and turned what was going to be an 8 or 10-yard loss into an 11-yard gain.
Ellis just showing us why he is the lead rusher for Judge Memorial, because he is able to take a first contact and go from a loss to a first down.
Turned that into about a 12-yard gain for Judge Memorial to the Manti 45. Hand it fullback left. Pickup of a couple of yards on the first down call. Judge Memorial they came into this half 90 yards rushing. They're now at 235 plus. That tells you what they've been eating it up here. Well over 100 yards just in this third quarter of play. And with their moving it up, we talked about number of possessions you might have. They're in their third possession already in this second half of play with 2:38 remaining third period. Manti leads 22-20. Judge Memorial with a 2nd and 8 at the 43-yard line of Manti. Long count, fullback, quarterback keeper, pulls it out to the right-hand side, turns the corner, brought in and then clambered down by several of the Manti Templars across the way. Had some help from Trevor Alder closing in on that.
You know, and give credit to Ellis not going down when they were hanging on the back of his jersey. If he actually went down, they might have called a horse collar tackle on that. So held him up while other defenders came to help with the tackle.
3rd and 4. And the ball at the 38-yard line of Manti for Judge Memorial. Big 3rd down play here. Closing 2.5 minutes of the 3rd period. Fullback handoff, quarterback makes the pitch to the outside, trying to close, make the tackle, but he gets the 1st down. Coming up to hand it in, Connor Ace at the safety spot, but not before they get the 1st down on a 5-yard gain for Judge Memorial.
Now that's actually the best coverage I've seen Manti do on that option. Everybody did their assignments. The dive up the middle was covered, quarterback was covered, so he made the pitch. The pitch was, he only got 3 yards on the play, 4 yards on the play, but it does make it a 1st down. Connor Ace was the cover man on the pitch man. He came up and got the tackle.
At the 34-yard line. 1st and 10. Quarterback he comes back, reverses field, open broken field play. Finally brought down by Connor Ace. Well, they clammed into each other. Flag comes flying in here as well. But the running back and the quarterback fell into each other. Well, the defense kind of reacted to that. And then Ellis, more credit the guy, heads up, says, I'll go opposite of what the flow is, and he had a pretty good run there.
By the position of the flag, I would say it was probably holding. Yep. Block in the back.
Block in the back is, well, and that just ensues often. That play wasn't supposed to go to that place. That one blocker just got caught in the wrong spot.
Yep, and I was watching to see if it would be against Manti because Connor did tackle him up high. Sometimes that's when you get a face mask call, but by where the flag went down, that's where they mark it off from, is where the block in the back happened.
This will put the ball at the 37-yard line, and it will be a 1st and 12. 13, almost 1st and 13 here for Judge Memorial at the 37.5, 38-yard line. Between 35 and 40. Pitch to the outside, near side. Got some blocking out there, closing, and finally helping make the tackle. Connor Ace comes up again as the safety, and that was Mark Barnett on that carry. Judge Memorial attacking the outside now, more regularity on the pitch sweeps. 5-yard gain.
Connor Ace, I'm noticing as he's getting up, he's trying not to put his hands on the ground, keep them dry. I believe he's wearing gloves here for defense. I need to watch to see if he's also wearing them while on offense. That does affect the passes. He hasn't been as accurate tonight on the few that he's tried to throw.
2nd down and 7 for Judge Memorial. Going left to right, right hash, wide side is left. Quarterback on a throw over the middle, has it complete to his tight end, and they've got the 1st down. In on the coverage, halfback coming over is Eric Lee, but they do the little look-in pass and get it complete for the 1st down. Ellis tossing that to Mark Barnett.
That was what I was expecting going in this game if it was going to be good weather. They do success with the run. It opens up their pass game. It paid off for him there, even though the weather makes the ball a little tough to catch.
To the 17-yard line. And it's the quarterback to the outside, hemmed in, pinned down, and Sherry finishes him off. But the early penetration came through by Sago, outside linebacker. And then he had help also from Wesley Wright, and then Sheese, who came from apparently this near side, because Wright was the defensive end on that far side, makes a tackle for a loss of 3.
Yeah, and Ellis showing how hard he is to take down. He's a tough player to tackle. The clock's ticking down. I don't know if they'll get this play off.
4 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter of play. Manti with a 2-point lead. 2nd down call, that is it. That is the end of the 3rd period. Manti 22, Judge Memorial 20. Judge Memorial with a 2nd and 13 when we come back to 4th quarter action.
Central Utah Bucks and Bulls is an all-new series starting August 14th only on Centricom Channel 10. This show, it's all about us. No more whitetail hunts on the other channels. These hunts are our people, in our mountains, right here close to home. And next time you head out, take a camera and share with us some of your pics and videos so we can all enjoy them right here on our local channel. Central Utah Bucks and Bulls.
Hi, my name is Morris Casperson. We have an accounting office located in Ephraim, Utah. We can provide income tax preparation, bookkeeping, payroll, IRS, and state of Utah problem resolution. We have staff that is very qualified and friendly and willing to help you. I think you'll be surprised at how reasonable our prices are. And for the new clients, if you will mention this ad, we'll give you an additional discount. Please call us at 435-283-2006.
That'll be the ball at the 20-yard line here for Judge Memorial now, that has over 265 yards in rushing in this ball game for them. So they've really taken control of the thing here in the third quarter. The big play for Manti to keep them in it here. 22-20 lead as we begin. Fourth quarter was Bradley Sago kick return of 85 yards.
Nordmark in on a defensive end for Wesley Wright. Wesley has made a lot of contact with the ball carrier, but bounced off a lot tonight.
And off, and that's not going anywhere. Clogged up by the Templars.
Holding also, I believe.
That's big D tackle Tristan Olson. Makes the hit on Henry Garcia. Drive back. They had the ball at the, we got the flag line. It was at the 20-yard line, just inside the 20, the line of scrimmage. Somebody just hit their panic button in a car over in the parking lot.
Face mask, Manti.
So that mark-off will be against the Manti Templars, which really wasn't needed because they had him pinned in.
Yeah, that play was completely broken up by good penetration on the defensive line. It goes from a loss to, well, they only marked it off 5 yards, so it's still at least 8 yards to go for the first down.
So the lesser kind of the sins there. Second down and 9 at the 15 for Judge Memorial. And we've got a flag flying here as their wing left went in motion to the right-hand side. Referee stopped play on the second and 9 at the 15. They discuss with it here.
Looks like penalties are going to trade yardage the way the ref's ready to mark it off.
No, they didn't mark anything off. Puts the ball. He didn't put the ball back down where the original line of scrimmage was, though. Judge Memorial has lost about a half a yard, according to the down marker across the way.
On both sides.
Yeah, okay. Well, you go with the spot of the ball here, so second and almost 10 now for Judge Memorial. Don't know what that was all about, but they set the ball back down and go second down and long 9. Quarterback to the outside, got pursuit from the backside. Nordmark gets through. Sheese missed the tackle, but boy, Nordmark's going to get a high five from Jared Sheese, because Nordmark, with his speed, was able to chase down the line and take down the quarterback.
That is a good choice by Manti to have Nordmark in there with his size, with how difficult Ellis is to tackle. Wesley Wright has also been doing a good job in there. We'll see how much they rotate the two of them back and forth.
Manti had no offensive productivity in that third quarter of play on the one series. A lead here, 22-20, a 10:45 in the ball game, and a critical third down and 9 for Judge Memorial. Templars flip-flop and come out of it. The quarterback rolling, looking into the end zone. Incomplete. We've got a flag flying. They're going to call pass interference on the Manti Templars.
Yeah, as Manti had the coverage out there on their corner, the receiver got past him, and I could see him tugging on his jersey. So the referee, it took him a second to reach in and pull that flag out and get it thrown, but this is going to probably give him a first down.
Yep.
It's
advantage to receiver in this, on this kind of a field, just a down and an out pattern. He doesn't plant real hard. You just got to get the defensive man leaning one way. If you can do it with your head, you can get the defensive man leaning his whole upper body, then you just cut the opposite direction, and you've got an opening.
And coaches will coach their defenders to say, if you're going to give up something, give up the penalty, not the touchdown. So that's the strategy from Manti's side, and I think he intentionally made that decision. Also, with the coverage there, I don't know if he could have made that pass, but I think he recovered quicker than he thought Albie did on that penalty. But
3rd and a yard at the 7-yard line for Judge Memorial.
Did not give him the first.
See if the Templars bring middle linebacker blitz. Quarterback handed off to the fullback. No, keeps it himself. Quarterback to the left-hand side has the first down with ease. Pulled it out. They'd have got it either way. He could have given it to Garcia for a first down or pulled out himself. Ellis keeps it himself, and with ease has the first down on a 4-yard carry. Judge Memorial at over 250 yards, threatening again here with a score.
The way that we're going here, it's probably going to be down to whoever has the ball last for who wins.
Depending on what Templars do on their next possession. Wide receiver across the way. Each way, all they want to do is take the defensive halfbacks out of the action here. This will be a run. Pitch to the outside, and in for the touchdown is Michael Kearns on the pitch option. Left-hand side, a 3-yard touchdown run for Kearns to give Judge Memorial the lead again.
That puts them really close to their average scoring per game this year.
Try to get their 28th point up here, as they will probably go for 2. Almost obviously would have to do that at this point. And that will be for Judge Memorial at the 10:06 mark here. Wouldn't be surprised they come back again with an option play again to this near side. And they only send one receiver out wide, though, so they're going to take the defensive back near side. Albie out of it. Everything else can play in tight unless they bring motion, which they do. Overload the left-hand side, ride to the fullback, give it to the fullback, and he is in for the 2-point conversion without any problem. Henry Garcia. That makes it 28-22 in favor of Judge Memorial at the 10:06 mark. They take the lead in the 4th quarter over the Templars in this 3A State Football Championship game. Back with the kickoff in 1 minute.
The Fairview Telephone Company was founded in 1903 to bring telephone service to small communities in central Utah when no one else would. That small phone company is now Centricom, and our vision hasn't changed. We want rural central Utah to have the very best options for high-speed internet, cable TV, and home phone. Why? Because we live here too. Centricom, your local telecommunications company.
We have an obligation to make the community around us better.
Even though we've grown quite a lot, we still maintain the neighborhood, home, we're going to take care of you kind of attitude at Centricom.
We have an old bus that's kind of scary looking, and we fire the old bus up and we throw everybody in it when we head off to a community and do a service project.
We just have to give back because the community has given so much to us. We love this community.
Centricom, 110 years of service.
Kickoff for the Judge Memorial Bulldogs. Line driver down the middle into the end zone, and it will come out to the 20-yard line. Be taken over there by the Manti Templars at the 20. They trail by 6. Judge Memorial has had 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns in this second half of play. They've come out and played with more intensity, more line drive, if you want to call it. In this second half of play, they've taken control there at the line of scrimmage. With only 10 minutes remaining, and I say only because times of possession on these games, of this one with a lot of running, takes a lot of time off. And Judge Memorial will be looking to trying to clog up the Templars here and get an early punt in this offensive set. Single setback. Haste rolls to the right-hand side, being chased backside, cuts back up the field. And Connor Haste covers the ball up after a 6-yard gain. Again, the Templars playing without Cameron Fowles in the second half. Early in the half, on a kick return, he got hit hard on a slick field and got hit right up under the chops. And it has taken him out. He was woozy going off the sideline, and any type of a concussion thing, you just don't take any chances.
They're doing a good job of rotating a dry ball in as many places as they can now.
After the 6-yard gain, 2nd and 4 for Manti. In the backfield, Sheese comes to the left-hand side and gets about 2 or 3 yards. Jenkins and Sheese will be the running backs out of this drive at this point. Templars will trade in the wide receivers, 3rd down and 2 after the pickup there of almost 3. Ready to go 3rd down for Manti. Think about the defense here. Judge Memorial, they know fouls is not in there. They can really take the cue on Sheese. Handoff comes Sheese. Sheese gets the first down. Working hard out to the 34-yard line.
Very critical play for Manti there, that if they had to punt into this scenario, it would really pin them as to their options this fourth quarter, because they haven't been able to stop the offense of Judge Memorial. The best thing they can do defensively against them is just keep them off the field.
First down pickup out to the 33.5-yard line after the 6-yard gain for the first down by Sheese.
Derek Wright, we've seen a lot of him now in this second half.
Snowing here at Stewart Stadium. Hand off again to Sheese, left-hand side, maybe a yard at the most.
Now he's not approaching the line as firm-footed as I'm used to him seeing. A little bit more speed is what I've seen in the past. I think it has to do with the conditions, of course, but also if he gets some confidence as he's approaching in there, hit the hole hard.
Second down and 9 for Manti at the 35-yard line. 2 critical downs here. Clear bound, the speed back comes to the right-hand side. That's the near side. Sego, he'll go back to the far side. Hand it to Sego. Block on the outside by Jenkins. Sego turns the corner. Picks up about 2.5 or 3 yards. They say he fumbled the football. Judge Memorial says they've got it, and the referee concurs. Well, the fumble by the Templars right near the sideline across the way after a 2-yard gain, and Judge Memorial with that fumble recovery. Templars had played fumble-free football till that point, but now they have turned it over to Judge Memorial, and they will have the ball inside the Manti 35-yard line.
I think that fumble was caused by just a really good, solid hit by a Judge Memorial defender. I didn't catch a number on it. We got Tristan Daniels in for Manti also on defense.
Correct that. That is at the 10, 20, 38-yard line. Pitch sweep, near side. Judge Memorial trying to get outside, and they do turn the corner.
I think there's a holding, and I was watching for that.
It was a hold. I'm just trying to see where the flag is at. I don't see it in all that white, but getting caught on the hold was Braden Pelly. Oh, there's the flag back to the inside.
Yeah, and I think it was Wesley Wright that was. I think he could have made it out there to stop that sweep. The tackle was the block was engaged by the offensive lineman, but.
What they call a personal foul on a face mask.
On a face mask.
On the blocker. He was getting up instead of a hold, they call him on the face mask, so getting up into the face. That's why his helmet was hanging down.
And
that's
is this
pickup of a couple, but
15-yard variety on the mark?
I don't know. See which way they go with this one.
Because it's a personal foul.
This drive started at the Manti 38 after the Manti turnover. We had the one play here with 7:34 remaining. Judge leads over Manti 28-22. Judge has scored on all possessions in his second half of play. And it's the long one. They're going to mark this off to the 49.5-yard line. Trying to find a hash mark out there. Kind of hard to find them, too. So it'll be first and long at the Judgment. Well, let's just say it's a 50-yard line here. Basically what we'll say on this one, midfield marker after the penalty mark-off. Judge Memorial, motion right to left, full back, hand it to him, maybe a couple of yards. And that will bring up a second down on the Max Barnett carry. Barnett a little slow getting up.
Yeah, Barnett actually took his teammates to encourage him and grab him and help lift him up to get him up. But he went back to the huddle. He's still in the game. Kind of taking his toll. It's taken a toll of all the hits he's taken, but it's working for Judge Memorial in this game.
So second down and 20 for Judge Memorial. Trips to the right-hand side. Quarterback in the pocket. Comes back over the middle, incomplete. He couldn't really plant and throw like he would have liked to. Had coverage underneath as well, so an incompletion.
The body language on Ellis, you could just see the frustration. Either the ball left his hand kind of funny because it's wet. it's not the type of game to be passing on, and that penalty is really what made him have the need.
Yeah, Sago was back in coverage out of a linebacker drop. Templars make a change now at that defensive end position. Nordmark comes in on the 3rd and the long for Judge Memorial. 6:50 remains here in the snow. 28-22, Judge Memorial leading Manti. 3A state championship. It's been a battle. Templars playing in the second half without Cameron Fowl, so they lost a lot of their offensive dimensions and a key middle linebacker. Looking for the pass, snuffed into the air. Nordmark got a hand on it, and so it's an incompletion.
And Nordmark's down on the ground.
Hurt, and he had broken arm before.
Well, it was a separated shoulder.
Oh, was that what it was before? Yeah, but he blocked the pass there, and he'll head to the sideline, and maybe he's hurt that shoulder once again.
Yeah,
but he made a big play defensively.
He's packing his shoulder right, and Nordmark have rotated in and out of the game well with each other now, so that was an excellent play to have him in on, though.
Punting situation for Judge Memorial. Templars got to get a substitute in here, and they do quickly as they get King in. And the punt's a high, short one. And it takes a Judge Memorial bounce, an excellent bounce. Very effective punt to the 7-yard line, and that's where Manti will take over. 1st and 10 at the 7, and trailing by 6 with 6:32 remaining. In the 4th quarter, the Templars will start deep in their own territory without a key weapon in the form of fouls.
And you know, that extra 15 yards that they lost with the way the ball rolls, usually you want your return man to do a fair catch to prevent that kind of thing from happening. But in these conditions,
he might have had a tough time trying to do that, the type of punt it was.
And how it was rolling, you think that it might roll into the end zone too, but the ball doesn't roll as well in these conditions.
So Manti's got a long field to go, trailing by 6. Crowd getting into it. Georgia Memorial crowd more into it than Manti. The Manti crowd needs to get into it over there and starts giving some noise to the team. Timeout taken by Manti here at the 6:28 mark. So Manti will use their first timeout. We'll do likewise and be back in a minute.
The Central Valley Medical Center in Nephi offers state-of-the-art rehabilitation services. The physical therapy department is committed to providing patients with the highest quality rehabilitative services. As part of the hospital team, board-certified physical therapists work closely with doctors and other healthcare professionals in coordinating and caring for patients. In addition, they have a specialist with 14 years experience that's certified by the Academy of Wound Care. Next time you or a loved one needs rehabilitation services, think of Central Valley Medical Center in Nephi.
They can listen to satellite radio, they can listen to their iPod, but they don't give you local content. The local radio station can do that.
So my dad always
Connor raced on a quarterback rollout left, did not get a block help that he needed on that far side, and he loses 3 yards on the carry. They'll be at the 4 now.
Yeah, there were quite a few Judge Memorial defenders over there to put a stop to that run.
Well, Judge Memorial's reads now. They know they read Chiefs and they read Ace. They don't have to worry about making a read on fouls. They just read 2 players. They just key on the 2 out there in the offensive set. So on a 2nd and 13, motion. Gonna look to throw in the secondary. Gonna pass it to the outside. Sago makes the catch, loses it. Sago had it for a first down.
And he's frustrated, I think, is why he's still on the ground. It might have also given a good sting to his cold hands.
He's gonna pick himself up fine. He had it at about the 25-yard line. He knew he was open. Great pass by Connor Ace. He had it right on the money. Froze the defense with a little play action and made a nice delivery out there to Sago. Sago just could not hold on.
Yeah, in any other day, I would say Sago would have hauled that one in.
Probably gone for a score.
Yep.
With his speed. Defensive changes here for Judge Memorial. This could be the ball game right here for Judge. With Manti on 3rd and 13.
Let's
5:38 remaining.
What Stevens has in the playbook for
Manti. They run out of time. Manti has to take a timeout. Too much time in the huddle. So they have to take a timeout here before they get a penalty. We'll do the same thing, take a 30-second break and then be back.
Told us, if you guys want to make a lot of money, you're going to have to move where the people are. But we didn't want to do that. We wanted to stay here.
One thing that all the people that live here have in common is that they all chose this place, and they could probably make better money somewhere else. And so we're all here because we love this place.
You got to play the odds. You got to punt it.
Yep.
Almost quick kick it if you had that in your repertoire.
Yeah, if it'll put it out of reach if they don't.
5:32 remaining. Larry Masco and Russell Olson with you, and Stat Crew here from Weber State on KMTI. Sports connection throughout the whole world today. We're being heard from the Mid-East and all points in between.
Now this play call has to be for a first down for Manti.
Yeah, they got to have a 14-yard play. 3rd and 13. One running back, and it'll be a halfback option. Progreski throws one up for grabs, and it's intercepted. And this is going to go into the 2-yard line. He just couldn't grip the ball. Progreski was going to throw it back to Connor Aist, and Aist actually would have gotten open on a good hard pass, but Progreski probably. Now, this is a guy that had played quarterback, but he'd been injured this season. Probably hasn't thrown a pass in a long time, except for what he did on the 2-point conversions, and that one just was a wounded duck.
Yeah, the way that one wobbled, you could tell that it did not leave his hand in a normal way. Ball wet and everything. Being in that situation, they had to go for a pass, though.
Judge Memorial can pack it away here. 1st and goal at the 2-yard line. Handoff right-hand side, and it's Barnett that puts it in from 2 yards out for Judge Memorial at the 5:19 mark. So they go from the Manti 2 for the touchdown run. And we'll go up here, see if they go 2-point conversion or 1 for Judge Memorial.
You know, that's the same scenario we were talking about if they were to get a 4th down and choose to not punt.
Yeah, the same thing happened.
It was the very thing that you didn't want happen, and Judge Memorial having within the 10-yard line.
So Judge Memorial to go for 2. Bring motion from right to left, pitch sweep to the outside and in for the 2-point conversion. Here comes the flag flying in. And have a holding call, I think, on the outside.
And that's what it took to make the play happen. Otherwise, the defender could have stopped it.
Sago's the one who got held out there as he was trying to come to the outside on the 2-point conversion.
Now, if the defense would have stopped it, they could decline the penalty and move forward. But Manti's going to have to take this and use it to try and prevent more points from going on the board, putting it out of reach of a field goal and touchdown.
So this will be back to the 13-yard line now for Judge Memorial. 5:20 remains. Judge leading at 34-22. They got the 12-point lead and still going to go for 2 here.
Yeah, it would be 2 touchdowns that it would be out of reach of.
Quarterback got a receiver coming out into the flat, and what's the referee saying? No, he does. He gives him 2-point conversion.
On this side of the field, he's marking him just short of the goal line, but on the far side, he was saying he possessed the ball inside the end zone before he came out. That's the, and I would go to the far sideline.
He was right there by it, close to it. Eric Lee played that pretty well, did the best that he could. He was kind of shielded off, tried to come around front, strip the ball away, and make a tackle in the play of field. So the point after is good for 2. It's 36-22. Back in 30 seconds with the kickoff.
Hi, this is Mike Trana, inviting you to join us every Thursday night at 5:30 for the Centricom Channel 10 Sports Zone. In this weekly program, we'll bring you scores, highlight standings of your favorite local high school teams. That's Thursday nights at 5:30 on Centricom Channel 10. And don't miss our weekly live broadcasts on Centricom Channel 10 or online at local10.tv. The Centricom Channel 10 Sports Zone, Thursday nights at 5:30 on Centricom Channel 10.
Kickoff for Judge Memorial, leading at the 5:19 mark. That was a 1-play drive, 2 yards after the interception. And they'll kick here at the 5:19 mark in this state championship game.
Derek Wright back with Sago.
Try to keep it away from Sago, and fielded by an up back. That's Harris, and Harris gets it out to 39-yard line for Harris. He looked back like he was almost thinking about he would lateral it to one of his teammates, and I think Sago shook him off, said, no, you just get up the field with it, let's get what we can get.
Get what we can get for the amount of time that we lose off the clock for it, and don't try and do anything tricky at this point.
Templars with only one timeout left, and they trail by 2 touchdowns with 5:14 remaining. Ace rolling to the right-hand side, going to keep it himself. Tuckett heads to the outside, has a gain of about 3 or 4.
He got out of bounds. That's key for clock management in a scenario like this. He was carrying the ball with just one hand when he decided to go out. I think right before that he needed to wrap up that ball.
Pickup of about 2.5 to the 40. Stop the clock, getting out of bounds.
Now we're going to pretty much see the 2-minute drill. All pass looks for Manti. Try and go towards the sidelines, but not necessarily exclusive with over 5 minutes left.
Manti's offense about 16 yards in his second half of play without Cameron Fowles. Ace rolls into the pocket, looking to throw, throws it to the short receiver, couldn't quite make the catch. It's Tyler Albee, the intended receiver, at the 45-yard line. Just a little too high for him. Ace did a good job of improvising there and dumping that pass off.
Ace, of course, has the gloves off for this drive. I haven't paid enough attention to see if, when they were mostly running, if he had the gloves on.
If you just joined us in the second half, Cameron Fowles went out early in the half. What we assume was a concussion, the way he was kind of acting. Templars have not had their offensive weapon there. Ace in the pocket, going to tuck it himself, gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that'll be all. And of course, now Judge Memorial look at double coverage on the receivers. You need check down receivers, which again, without Fowles, the Templars not with their usual synchronization that they have. And that'll bring up a 4th down for Manti.
Derek Wright in the game as a receiver.
Vacate one running back in. Ace going to step to the pocket, going to throw, trying to position it to the outside. Incomplete. Playing defense. It'd be okay. You wouldn't mind if he would have intercepted it there. Putting a hit on was T.J. Progreski. You'd almost wish that McKinnon would have intercepted it. It would have been as good as a long punt. But it'll give Judge Memorial on a turnover on downs the ball at the 40-yard line of Manti.
Yeah, this really just kind of wraps up the game almost. If Judge Memorial can just grind away at the clock. Manti has 1 timeout. Judge has 2. Excellent field position for him too.
From the Manti 40 for Judge Memorial, and they'll have to take a timeout here. They didn't have enough offensive linemen in there. When they called roll, Ricky Maka, a junior lineman, was not out there for Judge Memorial. We'll take a 30-second break and then be back.
Hi, my name is Morris Casperson. We have an accounting office located in Ephraim, Utah. We can provide income tax preparation, bookkeeping, payroll, IRS, and state of Utah problem resolution. We have staff that is very qualified and friendly and willing to help you. I think you'll be surprised at how reasonable our prices are. And for the new clients, if you will mention this ad, we'll give you an additional discount. Please call us at 435-283-2006.
Post-game show coming up, presented by Sunrise Engineering, sharing the Saturday day lights. We are under the lights here with the snow at Weber State at Stewart Stadium. Judge Memorial 36, Manti 22. Manti's only offense has been very little in this second half of play. Now, when I said offense that they generated, Sago, of course, had an 85-yard kick return. And here's Judge Memorial with the handoff left side, dive pay for 6 yards. They'll just eat time off the clock. Manti with only 1 first down left, so Judge Memorial, who just got beat at the line of scrimmage by Manti some in that first half, stalemate at times, and then other times Manti controlled it. And then the complexion of things as Judge Memorial came out more serious about matters in the second half of play, and the Templars not nearly as quick to attack. When you got a running back like Fowles that gets to the line so quick, and that just kind of turned things in this second half of play. So 2nd down and 4 for Judge Memorial. And a dive by Barnett. Nope, to the outside. It's still the quarterback keeper. And he's got the first down. It sold me on that one. I thought Barnett had the ball.
It took me a second to try and find who
That's what I get
has
for
the
looking
ball.
down.
Yep, and I could only identify it by how the defense began reacting. And that play took some time to drag out. We got a flag, though, really close to about where the first down would need to be, and so it's going to be coming back.
They started that play from the 33-yard line on a holding call. The flag was at the 30, so the ball will be at the 40-yard line where Judge Memorial, back to where the original line of scrimmage was. It'll be second down.
It ate up a lot of time on the clock, though, for that play, and they get an extra down here, too.
Uko Dominique, a senior, comes in for Judge Memorial. Maybe a couple of seniors that haven't had as much playing time. Templars have lost Nordmark probably also for injury. Went out hanging that shoulder, although he is on the sideline across the way.
Yeah, when he made it to the sideline, he tossed his helmet like, I'm done.
Yeah.
He knew he was really frustrated at that.
Pitch sweep near side. Coming to the outside, trying to turn in, and making a nice play is Sago at the line of scrimmage. Sago, although he's had the one catch that he didn't make, that I'm sure he's wishing he had, you'll remember for a while, and then the one fumble, boy, he has made some. You know, Manti relies a lot on outside linebackers getting out and making plays, having some speed out there. I mentioned last week how they felt it was big shoes to fill from Austin Jackson. It took Sago, who can play a safety or defensive halfback, moved him up to a linebacker spot. And this second half of the season, he's been key in some of those crucial games.
Oh, yeah, he's been able to make quick sprints to the ball when it's outside like that, and also make a lot of tackles.
Clock at 2:26 remaining, and a 3rd and 10 for Judge Memorial. And they'll double sweep it, and they've got room to the outside. And turn in the corner, and a pickup of about 4. And again, some quick reaction to the ball by Sago. He played off a block and was able to string that out, and it's a 4-yard gain and 4th down for Judge Memorial.
That was a really short played reverse for Judge Memorial. They made it look like the ball was heading to the far side of the field, and it turned back. I think Manti
took a timeout here. That's it. They're out of their timeouts. Coming up on our post-game show, we'll name our Los Amigos player of the game. You can enjoy some fine, authentic Mexican cuisine tonight at Los Amigos. Call for takeout if you want to go that route, 283-5675. Those players of the game coming up, chili relleno with bean burrito smothered in cheese, served with rice and beans at Los Amigos. And our Sunrise Engineering post-game show. Sponsors today, Centricom Channel 10, Zions Bank, D-Land Title, Gunnison Market, Gunnison Valley Hospital, Ecolife, Cache Valley Bank, Manti Telephone, Big G's Automotive, Manti Family Dental, Sorensen Towing, Snowcap Lanes, Barkley Mechanical, Rick Bartholomew Insurance, of course, Los Amigos as well. So 4th down, 5 for Judge Memorial. Not to punt. They're just going to go with it here, try to keep this drive going and eat more time off the clock. Wide receivers each way. Solo coverage out there. And the quarterback going to keep it, head up the field, and has the first down easily. Caden Ellis, who rushes there for 10 yards, and a first down for Judge Memorial. And that'll pretty well put it away. The Templars have no timeouts remaining. And Judge Memorial has gotten pretty close with a very productive second half to their rushing average on the season.
As I'm watching the Manti Templar team react to that play, they were all really slow getting up. It's really setting in now on them that this is it for the year.
Well, they made it to the championship. Of course, they're not thinking about that right now, but success not at the top of their mind right now, but they have done very well, and they beat a tough Morgan team last week to get here. And a handoff, dive left again by Barnett with 1:32 remaining. And I'll tell you what, I'm sure they earned the respect of Judge Memorial today. This ballgame, because that first half, man, it was a dandy.
This has been a fun game to be watching. They two great teams. Tia now in for Tristan Olson, switching it up a little bit. I think Tristan has been one of the ones I'm watching that is his reaction is just a little worn out.
Yeah.
Some of it's emotion, some of it's physical.
Physical drainage.
Because that line has worked hard on both sides.
2nd down and 4 after the 6-yard gain. They'll bring motion and pitch it to the far side to pitch behind the running back. Sheesh gets over, can't quite bring the running back down, but he play down enough by Mark Barnett that it only gets back to the line of scrimmage. Well, you know, the Tempers overcame some adversity. You lose a kicker like Munoz, who you were really relying on. They lost Progreski for a lot of the season. And I'll be honest with you, when Progreski went out, I thought, boy, the Tempers, I don't know if they can fill those shoes. Well, they did it as a team because he was so key, and he went out early in the season. And the Tempers overcame some injuries. Adversities had a lot of them. Of course, of the season, Nordmark missed a lot of the season, some of the others. And to accomplish what they've done, nothing to hang your head about. As the final play of the game will come up here, and Judge Memorial will win the 3A championship.
All those players mentioned did continue to attend all the practices. Even a fumble on the
they
flag.
exchanged the and then a flag
It's
for
probably
procedure.
delay
They
a
had
game.
too many people movement, yeah.
Delay a game, I think, is what they're giving him now, though, because I think the play clock went out. Yeah, the ref signaled.
TJ Progreski gathering the troops there. He's had to step up in a heavier role. That's a penalty mark off of 5. With the fouls going out as the defensive signal caller, Progreski's had to go every down in this second half of play defensively, and a lot of them offensively as well.
That last play was the first victory formation I've ever seen a fumble out of, too.
Yeah. On count, takes the knee, and that'll do it. So Judge Memorial defeats the Manti Templars 36-22 for the state championship in 3A football. We'll take a 3-minute break and we'll be back here with our Sunrise Engineering post-game show of today's ball game.
After the teams have had a chance to shake hands, we'll begin the awards presentation. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, as soon as the teams have completed shaking hands, we'll continue with our award ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the field for the Deseret News Awards presentation. First of all, we'd like to present the second place trophy in the state tournament. Representing the Utah High School Activities Association is Executive Committee Chairman Craig Hammer of the Washington School District, who will present the second place trophy to the Manti Templars. And now, we'll have the presentation of the 3A State Championship Trophy. Making the presentation will be Mr. Rob Kopp, Executive Director of the UHSAA, to the Judge Memorial Catholic Bulldogs. In behalf of the Utah High School Activities Association, thanks to the staff of Weber State University for assistance in hosting the state football championship. We salute Les Schwab Tire Centers for assistance in presenting the tournament. Please use patience in leaving the parking facilities, and thank you for your support of high school activities. Ladies and gentlemen, in order for preparations to be completed, including clearing the field for our next championship game in the 1A classification, we ask the Judge Memorial players, coaches, and spectators who are currently on the playing field to move to the north end zone. Your timely cooperation is appreciated.